You know they built a fish complex in Orient to catch the folks behind the dry river. I never see more mess. I never see more mess. I never see more mess. And wastefulness. You know the airport was to finish years ago. As far as I see, like it on go slow. I never see more mess. I never see more mess. I never see more mess. And pompousness. But let me go. Ring the bell, comrade, ring the bell. Who ain't going to jail, they're going to hell. Ring the bell, comrade, ring the bell. While we catch the tail, you doing well. Ring the bell, comrade, ring the bell. This time, man, we bound to break that spell. Ring the bell, comrade, ring the bell. We planning to give you a groundswell. I said to ring the thing, just ring the thing, just ring. Margaret pass and say a feel she bust. Before you blink your eye, case Nelly plus. I never see more mess. I never see more mess. I never see more mess. And worthlessness. Michelle Andrews didn't tell no lie. You jam the poor girl hard until she cried. I never see more mess. I never see more mess. I never see more mess. And nastiness. And you fire Otto Sam. He had no job. Like you want the man to push drugs, thief, or rob. I never see more mess. I never see more mess. I never see more mess. And viciousness. But let me go and say, ring the bell, comrade, ring the bell. Who ain't going to prison, going to hell? Ring the bell, comrade, ring the bell. While we catch the tail, you doing well. Ring the bell, comrade, ring the bell. This time, man, we bound to break that spell. Ring the bell, comrade, ring the bell. Vincent Chan go give you a groundswell. I said to ring the thing, just ring the thing, just ring. There we go. Take away poor Marcus' property, and you wouldn't pay the man the damn money. I never see more mess. I never see more mess. I never see more mess. And wickedness. Look at how you're treating Big and Big. You're treating Vincent Chans like they are pigs. I never see more mess. I never see more mess. I never see more mess. And wickedness. Why you wasting we tax money so? To pay them all men up on Star Radio. I never see more mess. I never see more mess. I never see more mess. And wickedness. Well, let me go and say so. Ring the bell, come and ring the bell. Who ain't going to jail, they're going to hell. Ring the bell, come and ring. Lord to answer my prayers. Father, please, we need your intervention to bring us some healing in our land.
Let me say a pleasant good night to Central Leeward and Buccanment in particular. Good night, good night, good night. And this is the voice of the New Democratic Party bringing to you another message in its series of village meetings. And you know, down here in Central Leeward, it's no other person than Brother Conroy Huggins. So I just want to say good night to everyone. You're looking good down there. I can see others coming down. You just come on. I know we're going to have a grand time here tonight. We thank God for holding up the weather. So without any further ado, I'm going to invite you at this time to bow your heads, close your eyes as we open up with a word of prayer. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy holy name. We truly want to give you praise and thanks for the blessings of life and health and strength so that we can be out here tonight with another meeting so that we can speak to the people of this community so that they, on the day when they have to make the choice, they will be able to be well informed as to the choice that they will make. We thank you for bringing all the people here tonight. We pray for those who are traveling and on their way. We pray that you may bring them here safely. We thank you for the weather so far, and we pray that you may continue to hold the weather for us tonight. We pray in a very special way that you be with our candidate in this area, Brother Huggins. We pray that you may continue to bless him and keep him so that as he go out to meet the people, they will be able to see that he is the one who will truly represent them if given the opportunity. We commit this meeting into your hands even at this time. We pray that you may grace us with your presence and bless all of us here tonight, we pray. In Jesus' name, amen. Let me just welcome all of you who made it out here tonight to rally with Brother Conroy Huggins and the New Democratic Party. A special welcome to you, and I thank you for coming, and those who I can see walking, coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are here, and you can join us. And for those who are listening in your homes, we want to welcome you too in a very special way. Let me establish some protocols now. I see chairman of our party, the Honorable Daniel Cummins, and he is also the representative for West Kingston, and he will be, after the next general election, the representative again, but this time will be in government. Brother Conroy Huggins, our candidate for this area. Yes, we want to big you up tonight as well. And we see members of the executive for South Central Leeward. So we just want to acknowledge your presence at this time. But before we go any further, let us have our national anthem. Yeah, put your hands together for the national anthem. Let me say tonight that it's a great pleasure to be here in Central Leeward and in Buccanment for another time. I can remember I was here last election, somewhere down on the other side. We had a meeting there, and it's good to be back in Buccanment. Let me say you have a choice in this upcoming election. And the choice is clear. You have a choice between a party that was in office for the past 25 years almost. And they have been a party of promises that they couldn't fulfill. And what we receive from them is a massive national debt. And they don't seem to have any way, any idea, any program that will be able to take us out of this debt. And that is the party that is in office at this time. They have grown tired, they have grown weary, and they have lost it. They have no new ideas. They cannot push St. Vincent forward. And that's the choice on one hand. On the other hand, and also you have, on that hand, you have a leader who is old, who is getting weak, tired, and frustrated, but for some reason or the other, he still wants to continue. On the other hand, you have a party that brings to you a mixture of youth and experience. A lot of professionals, as a matter of fact, all of them who are in the party are professionals in this field or that field or the other field. And we have a leader in Dr. Friday who is younger, with much more energy, and who can take St. Vincent and the Grenadines forward. When you look at the experience in the New Democratic Party, the life skills and training of the people who are running for the New Democratic Party, you can see that there is a clear choice. The New Democratic Party is a party that can take St. Vincent and the Grenadines to the next level. They can take St. Vincent and the Grenadines forward in the 21st century. On the other hand, the Unity Labour Party can only carry us back. Well, now we don't want to go back because back is death. We want to move forward in the 21st century. And so you must go with the New Democratic Party. And in Central Leeward, we have a bright, young, energetic, no-nonsense person running in this constituency. He is the one that you need to support because he is the one, because of his experience and his training and his knowledge, he is the one who will be able, in a New Democratic Party administration, to bring Central Leeward to the next level, lift you out of poverty, and make things better for the people, not only in Buccanment and in Central Leeward, but also in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So, the choice is clear. You can either stay with the old and go backward, or go with the new and move forward. And the majority of persons in SVG have already decided that they're going to go with the new and move forward. So without any further ado, I'm going to call the first speaker to the platform. He is a committee member of the Central Leeward NDP executive. I'm speaking of no other person than Brother Palmer Wilson.
Mr. Cummins, Chairman, Conroy Huggins, the team from North Leeward, South Leeward, think I saw Brother Fitz Ramble and other supporters. All that are gathered here tonight, a pleasant good night. I want to start tonight with a quote from one of my favorite poets, Maya Angelou. When someone show you who they are, believe them the first time. Tonight, I would like you to give me a listening ear as I share with you just 3 points. And the first and second came from a saying that someone told me. As I was discussing with a person of the other party, that person said to me, the only man that could run the country is Ralph Gonsalve. I want to agree with that quote because the only man, not only as Prime Minister, but as Minister of National Security, that we have seen our crime rate plummeted at such figures is under Ralph Gonsalve. The only man under whose leadership that we have seen our national debt since the discovery of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is under Ralph Gonsalve. The only man under whose leadership that every sector, every employment sector in St. Vincent and the Grenadines has been negatively affected. And again I say, every employment sector, and correct me if I'm wrong, agriculture, even vendors who work hard with their produce and try to get them sold in town. There were times when they took their stuff and threw them away. Every sector. I see the faces of some people here tonight from this village, and I realize that they are searching for answers. I realize that you're looking for redemption. I realize that they need help. It is only under Ralph Gonsalve's leadership, the only man who could run this country and cause every sector to be crying and bawling. Agriculture, taking away people's land. Until now, they are unemployed. I was looking at a little piece of clip on Facebook that Chavez was actually interviewing Bigger Biggs. And I tell you, tears came to my eyes. A big man, water just flowing from my eyes, and I couldn't stop. What did the man do to deserve this treatment? And many others, Teacher Luzette King and many others. A lot of persons greatly affected and impoverished under this leadership. It's the only man who could do that. The only Prime Minister, the only man, Ralph Gonsalve, who followed through with a vaccine mandate, who disenfranchised, let me try for you small words, who put a lot of people out of their work, is Ralph Gonsalve. Your representative here today, and I call him the representative because nobody else representing all you all know that. Conroy Huggins. He was the only breadwinner in his family. His wife had lost her job, and he had 4 children to take care of. When he lost his job, we were fired, not lose our job, we were fired from our jobs. The only man that could do that and that has done that in the entire Caribbean. I want you people to understand me. I know that for some of you, the only governance you experience is under Ralph Gonsalves. I know that you think that there is no better way. I believe some of you believe that all other leaders are the same. I believe many of you have lost hope in politicians. Many of you say, a lot of persons tell me that. They say, me, all of you are the same. Because they have been depressed and oppressed and ignored so long. The vaccine mandate was a wicked act. It was a heartless act on Vincentians. It had nothing to do with love for people. It had nothing to do with concern about people's health and well-being. It was a wicked act. A self-like act. I want to move to my second point. And again, it's a saying that I heard coming from a person that was speaking to me and persons who want to criticize Brother Conroy and even myself. And you know what they say? Christians should not be involved in politics. Christians should not be involved in politics. Then who should? Then who should? The entire Bible is about God seeking good leaders. The entire Bible is about God looking for leaders who would be true to Him and serve His people and lead them well. I want to give you one analogy from the Bible in 1 Kings chapter 12. Because I myself, I'm a reader of the Bible every day. When Solomon died, his son Rehoboam took over. And he should have been the one that would have led the people of Israel. But Rehoboam was not willing to humble himself, just like the leader now. The people sent another man to him and said, listen, your father was harsh to us. Make our burdens lighter. He told him to come back. He went to the old men who used to advise Solomon. And the old men told him, listen, if you treat these people well, if you lighten their load, they will serve you and they will obey you. He discarded the counsel of the old men and he went to the young men. And the young men told him, listen, tell those people that your big toe would be thicker than your father's thighs, and your thumb would be greater than his loins. That means, he said, my father beat you with whips, I will lick you up with scorpions. 1 Kings 12, read it yourself. It means that he was not willing to serve the people right. Christians should not be part of politics. That's what I'm talking about. The people overthrew him, and another person took over. Brother Conroy Huggins is not a politician. So don't class him with a field of what you have experienced or what you're experiencing. He's first of all a man of God. He's a preacher and a servant of God. And he's not here to fill his pocket. Because he and I know that we have brought nothing into this world. And my Bible says it is certain that you can take nothing with you. He was called. He did not push himself in the line. He was called to serve. And he took that call. And I want to say this also, and I say it without apology. Any person that associates themselves with Christianity should never vote for Ralph. They should never, ever, ever associate themselves with this wickedness. And I say it without apology. You cannot be a Christian and associate yourself with wickedness and victimization. A man who is fighting tooth and neck with his own people, have them in court, going if possible, spending your money. What greater example of stifling enough money more than taking taxpayers' money and paying lawyers even to Privy Council? Wasting people's money instead of humbling himself. Finally, I want to speak a little bit about the candidate Conroy Huggins. And I said it before, we grew up together. So unlike some people might have thought, we have not become affiliates or friends because he is in politics. We were friends even when we couldn't walk. We grew up in the same neighborhood in Curtains Barley. His house is just less than a minute from mine. And I want you to know that he's not the same as the others. That he's an astounding young man. His reputation in his own neighborhood far exceed any that you might think of. Go and find out for yourself, for those who do not know him in this community, and ask about him. Find out whom you have ever cursed or swear on. Find out whom you have ever even given a back answer to. Find out if you have ever been rude to anyone. This man had past teachers commending him. This young man that we speak about here today is a person, again, I would use these words, of unquestionable character. I have no doubt in my mind that Conroy would deliver. I am telling you that it is not going to be the same. I am putting it to you that it will not be the same. This is what you have been waiting for. This is a young man who will not reject you. He will not ignore you. He will not turn up his vehicle window and drive through as though he don't know you. Not only that he is of unquestionable character, but the young man has also proven himself to be an educated young man. Talented young man, educated. Master's degree. An agronomist. Before he came in to run for as candidate, he used to brave the mountains and help farmers, give them advice. Many farmers bow to him. I want you to understand that this election is not about me or you or self. This election is about your country. This election is about bringing back St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's a very serious vote. And so I'm asking you, I am presenting to you in Central Leeward, Conroy Huggins, and I am asking you to go out and vote astoundingly. Come out. Don't say not voting. Don't say no, it's going to be the same thing. Come out and vote for Conroy Huggins. Thank you very much.
Oh yes, oh yes. Let's hear it together for our brother Palmo Wilson. Yeah. Let me tell you something. When you're wicked, it does make you do this too, you know. I can tell you about some of the wickedness of Ralph Gonsalves and the Unity Labour Party. You see the port they're building uptown? Now, had they built a port where the existing one is, it would have cost them little over $200 million. But they're so wicked, they want to build it somewhere else that would cost $750 million. Over $500 million or $500 million more than if they build it where the existing one is. But they went to build it, but still they want to build it the right way. You see wickedness in the mind, but they make them stupid. They borrow money to build the port. They gave contract to build the port. Well, if you borrow money and give a contract to do something, the contractor is supposed to do the work and then deliver the thing to you. The work ain't done yet. The government reached back to Parliament 3 months before election to borrow 98 point something million. And not only that, the port ain't finished. It's the first time in my life I know you're repairing a building that ain't done yet. I know you repair buildings that are finished, but this port ain't finished, and they have to repair the port. Let me tell you something. Ralph Gonsalves and the Unity Labour Party don't love Vincentians. And that is why they're sinking the country in so much debt. You notice he say you're going to leave a hook in the gill? Well, that is what you want to do to Vincentians. But you have a choice and you have a job to do in this election. You must go to the polls and vote for the key and elect Conroy and the New Democratic Party. So at this time I will call the other speaker. He is no stranger to you because he is from Central Leeward. And he has been walking up and down this place for a long time. He is no other person than the chairman of the Central Leeward NDP constituency division. Put your hands together and welcome to the microphone, Brother Camillus. Welcome.
Domo.
It's getting dark, too dark to see. I feel I'm
Steamy.
And right now, I'm on a heaven's door.
Yeah. Buccanment. Good night, Buccanment. Good night, Central Leeward. Central Leeward, let me hear you. That song ain't good. You know, before I go there, I'd like to recognize the Honorable Daniel Cummins, MP for West Kingston, Honorable Nigel Nature Stevenson. Well, he almost home in between South Leeward and Central Leeward. So, Nature, you're halfway. So, I'd like to do that. I also want to recognize the Honorable Fitzgerald Bramble. Well, he used to be a goalkeeper, so I don't know if he ever played over the road. But he used to be a goalkeeper. I also like to recognize from the north, the senator, the lovely lady. And they say that this lady will take the amazing out of grace. You know, I was listening, and as a matter of fact, to all the people that visiting, welcome to Central Leeward. Central Leeward is a beautiful place run by some corrupt people. I was listening to a program on Facebook, and a certain fella was leading a choir. And the song they were singing is "Don't Let Me Leave Behind an Unfinished Task." I want to say to you tonight that at this point of the campaign, at this point of the game, you have already left behind an unfinished task. You will not be able to complete the mandate that was given to you by the people of Central Leeward, because you have failed in your responsibility as a representative for the people of Central Leeward. You know, when I passed through here in Buccanment a couple of days ago, I didn't come this far, so I thought that the road that we are standing on tonight will finish. I didn't expect to see all of the steel projecting out of the ground. And this road was built in 2 years ago. 2 years ago. This road was built in 2 years ago. And this is how the people of Central Leeward has been treated for the last 25 years by the Unity Labour Party. They take us for granted and think that we are fools. So they think that anything goes in Central Leeward. But listen to me tonight. The people of Central Leeward are brilliant. We are an educated bunch of people. And we know when they are giving us a 6 for a 9. And the time has come for the Unity Labour Party and Orlando Brewster to go home and take a rest. A new boy is on the block. A new kid is here. A man that will represent all the people of Central Leeward.
It's Friday.
This young man, his name is Conroy Huggins. A man of virtue, a man of integrity, not a man who come in to look for something to fill up his pocket. We know how they victimize him and throw him aside. But the Bible says, out of evil cometh good. So when they throw him aside, they didn't know they was doing bad for themselves, but good for the new Democratic Party. Because we will dethrone them here in Central Leeward. And the man that is leading the charge to destroy and to defeat the Unity Labour Party after some 30-something years in Central Leeward is Conroy Huggins. Could you imagine? We voted for them in opposition, voted for them in government. And what they give us? Hogwash. Treat us like nothing. You could imagine a little piece of road like they say going wrong there, so one come back. Still have steel projecting outside. Look here. If somebody stumble and fall along here, They got to go up by the polyclinic. But funny enough, you go by the polyclinic, you may not find a doctor. And if you find a doctor, you can't get any medication. And I'm serious. You cannot go to the polyclinic sometimes to get medication at even value under $20. That is what we have been getting here for representation. That is what Orlando Brewster have given us here for representation. Well, we don't want any more of that. We want something fresh. We want a new Prime Minister in Dr. Friday. And we want a new representative in Conroy Huggins. These guys need to go home. Go home and rest. Because they're tired. They're weary. And you see, I know when you're tired, when you're weary. As a sportsman, when you're tired, especially a footballer, you don't want to see the ball. So you're kicking it far. Because you're weary. But let me tell you something. When you're tired and it's best time to keep the ball, but they can't keep the ball because they don't know how to keep the ball. So what we are going to do, from up in Bilals, down into Lally, up into Curd News, and High Road, and Curd Hill, we are going to make sure that they're gone. And you could always go down to Barley in the resource center and sing, "Don't let me leave behind an unfinished task." What an unfinished task? The task is far from finished. You can't not run the race. You have disappointed the people of Central Leeward as a young man and a man that come from the barrel of poor people. You have disappointed them, so you have to go. It is time for you to go. It is time. The time has come. Down in Barley, in Battle and Glass. My favorite place in Barley is Battle and Glass. I've been going there for years. Years. And what they said was asphalt. I was walking on dirt. You know? And Conroy, you see Conroy, they're troublesome fellow when you're ready, you know. He going to talk about how they're not fixing the road. And when he win the next election, he'll fix from Salima Shop right down to where they had the blackfish thing down there. You know, Bruce start to fix that road. But why you listen to me? Instead of fix the road properly, they take a broom and sweep off the dust off the ground and put it on asphalt in it. That can last. That's what they're doing with our money. That's what they're doing. He was in Leyu when we opened the office some couple of months ago and say how what? They promised to light the playing field. Huh? So they promised to light the playing field. But I knew that since 2010, Ralph Gonsalves promised, long before Randall Brewster, promised to fence and light the playing field in Leyu. But you know what happened? Because Conroy spoke about the lighting of the field. They dig about 6 holes in Leyu, you know. They're so deep that if a child, oh Lord, it's trouble. I was talking to some of the people that organize football in Leyu. They tell me today that they ain't playing no football because they're afraid that if the children fall, people will sue them. And if they want to retrieve the ball from the hole, they'll have to have a ladder. You understand? So this is the kind of representation we are getting. Well, Buccanment, you know. Nobody has ever represented you as the New Democratic Party. We bought 98 acres across the river for poor farmers to farm and to live their standard of living and to feed the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. What is standing over there now? Hotel Sanders. And all the poor people that used to farm over there, gone. Gone. No. Some of us can't even go down there to bed. That is a fact. And I am not saying that you do not want foreign investment, but you're saying that you must coexist in this country. The foreigners that come to invest in this country must coexist with us, the local people here in this country. They destroy your chichi farming. And I could say to you here today that I know that many of you went to school and to college and university for chichi money. I know that will be a fact. But listen to me now, because I want to wrap up. NDP have a plan. NDP have something that they call the blue economy. And the blue economy is basically to fish and to process your fish and to ship your fish and to do that. NDP would replace the destruction of your chichi farming with the blue economy. When you look at Central Leeward, we have the most beaches in any constituency. And anybody there to challenge me on that, I'm ready to put down some money. Because we start in Pembroke Bay, down to Curtin Bay, in Barreley. You want me to call them? Somebody say, well, about now. So then they're gone further. But hear me now. You have Pembroke Bay, you have Buccanment Bay, you have Leeward Bay, you have Bambara Bay, you have Monk 21 and 2, you have Morgan Bay, you have Barreley Bay, you have Curtin Bay, and you have Wallaby Bay. Tell me. So we have all what it takes to survive in the blue economy. And when we talk about the blue economy, we ain't talking about pirogues, We want ice boat. We want trawlers that our fisher folks could go out to sea and spend a week and come back. And when they come back, they bring in thousands of pounds of fish, and they could make thousands of dollars. And that money will circulate within our community to better aid the people of Central Leeward. And I want to drop something here on you tonight. That Ben Exeter, former candidate for the New Democratic Party, started, and Hurricane Beryl would have destroyed his vessel. But I have good news. I have good news for you. That very soon, he'll be bringing back the force of those fleet to work at the high seas to bring fishes to St. Vincent and Grenadines to be shipped overseas. And soon after that, he'll bring a second boat to continue and to develop in this country. Show him taking the lead in this country to show that the New Democratic Party knows what they're talking about when they say they will invest in the blue economy of this country. So don't tell me that it can't happen. I know it can. I'm ready to go. But let me tell you this. You see those 6 holes I told you about in Leeward? I was told that they're planning to put up 1 light. 1 light, Papa. They're planning to put up 1 light for election. And then they'll come to tell you, well, give me a chance to finish. No chance. No chance at all. Anytime they plant 1 light, Conroy Huggins and the New Democratic Party will plant the next 5. They will plant the next 5. So don't give them any chance. We will plant the next 5. And as I stand here with you tonight, Conroy knows where I stand. So I will be a thorn in his flesh to make sure that he plant the 5. But hear this. This is a piece of commerce now. Hear this now. A closing, Igor. I know you're ready. I hear them. Hear this. They say the man walking around and saying to people, man, please give me a chance, let me get my pension and gratuity. But let me ask you this now, man, because sometimes I just get real mad. When they tell me things like this, so they're there to get pension and gratuity. What the hell you going to get when they get pension and gratuity and they're treating you like dogs in this country? What are you going to get? Give them their pension and gratuity, and then you ain't get nothing. NDP family, though some of you backslide the last time and voted Labour, I am here as the Bishop of Central Leeward to say, come back. Time enough for you to come. Come home and support Conroy Huggins, and let us march to victory, because the new Democratic Party will take power in this country, and Dr. Friday will be the head of that government, and we want to be a part of it. Thank you, and God bless you tonight.
Put your hands together again for our brother, chairman of this constituency, Brother Bishop. Well, I don't know. I was in North Leeward today. Very good, everything. I came home. I don't know what happened to my voice tonight, but you're going to have to walk, because you know I love my voice. We're going to have to walk. But I heard Bishop talk about the digging hole. They're digging the hole only because Labour did. All the waiting for now is for the bell to ring and the people to go to the polls and make sure that the day for the funeral come, but they're done dead right now. So that's why they dig hole. I was on the radio station last week, and somebody calling to make complaint that somebody went and took pictures in the hospital, and they wasn't too nice to one of the security person. Well, I can understand why they don't want you to take pictures in the hospital, because I went there almost in government, and you see the state of the General Hospital in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You know that government needs to go. I don't want you to take pictures because it's an embarrassment for any government in 25 years. And
Conroy Huggins and all my colleagues who are here this evening. Central Leeward, tonight I am in a very reflective mood. Of late, I've had to attend a number of funerals in West Kingstown. People dying left, right, and center. But I was at a particular funeral where Martin Leeward, my good friend for many years, we both grew up in Sharps. He was delivering the sermon at that funeral, and he made a point. He made a very specific point about the word we use and what we call love. Martin Leeward made the point that in his opinion, love is one of the most abused and misused words. And I couldn't agree with him more. I want to reflect with you tonight on what passes for love in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The preacher made the point, very telling point, that when a man today sees a woman and he says to her, I love you, you have to interpret that word, because it has more carnal than any other meaning. In other words, more of the flesh. But he made a very important point of how God so loved us that he sent his very son to die for us. And there's a reason why I am sharing his vision about love with you tonight. Because, my friends, there is a group of people in this country who have been in power for nearly 25 years and profess to love you. And tonight, I want to ask you, what human being will love you and have you in a state where you either take a jab or lose your job? Especially when that jab has never been tested and nobody takes responsibility for when it makes you sick. When you know so many people have died from it, what kind of love is this? Tell me. What kind of people would love you so much that they refuse to adjust the VAT down to 13%, as we have been saying for so many years, so that when you go to the supermarket, you have more money in your pocket, that the cost of living will go down? That is love. That is love. What kind of people will have you with a healthcare system that when you go to a clinic or a hospital, you have to walk with everything you want? If you want to do a simple blood test, you have to come up with hundreds of dollars to go to a private clinic. What kind of love is that? You heard Eagle talking about the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. The entire corridor on the ground floor of Milton Cato is filled with garbage of all TV, of all fridge, of all stove, of all bed, of all kind of equipment that is absolute garbage. Imagine I ask a question in the parliament and the Minister of Health has the gall to tell us that is not garbage. Well, I tell you, if that is not garbage, then the whole of ULP must be garbage. There must be garbage. Everyone from top to bottom is pure garbage. You know? My friends, listen. You see this thing we call love? The New Democratic Party built a magnificent facility in Otley Hall, created jobs for hundreds of people. All the vessels were brought there, including magnificent yachts. Just because it was an NDP project, this government totally destroyed that project. But even in the process, they have individuals who up to today are raking in tens of thousands of dollars every month off of that facility, and the people of this country not benefiting from it. The people of this country not benefiting from it. We in the New Democratic Party will show you what love is. We will restore Otley Hall with all of its components so that hundreds of people can get quality jobs, and that all the vessels who have to go all the way to Trinidad for maintenance will be remaining here and creating better opportunities. My friends, every aspect of our lives will be made better under a New Democratic Party. You see, Dr. Friday has put together a team of people. And I want to start right here in Central Leeward with your next representative. And by the way, Eagle and Chairman, don't worry with the current representative. He like all the others, are headless chickens without any authority to get anything done. They don't care about you. That pension that they're talking about, by the grace of God, he will never see it. I only pray that after Conroy has dealt with him properly, by you voting him as your representative, that this gentleman will make better use of his talents as a medical practitioner. Hope you'll go back to school and learn something to contribute to this country and leave politics to people who love the people of this country. Conroy Huggins has prepared himself for this job. Here is a man with, as you heard so many times, with a genuine Christian background, coupled with training in a most critical component in our agriculture, an agronomist by profession. He has served you both here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and in the region. And he has a commitment to the people of this country because he understands what it takes to turn agriculture from the rubbish that passes for agriculture under this ULP to where you, the people, can again be proud, where you, the people, again can earn a decent living through agriculture. Have no fear. Every component of the plan that the New Democratic Party is putting forward to you is not happening just because an election is coming. We have been sitting and working and planning for years. We know what is required to turn this country around. We have a commitment with a passion to see the lives of our people improve steadfastly and constantly. That is why Conroy has joined this magnificent team so that he will be part of the process and that Central Leeward will not be left out. Your representative as Conroy Huggins will be part of Dr. Friday's cabinet. Your representatives will be empowered to do things in your constituency for you. That is NDP style. That is love. That is real love. And that is what Conroy will do for you. My friends, when I listened to Martin Laborde talk about love and how it's being overused, mistreated and abused, Martin grew up in a family with a very hard-working mother. Edna Laborde lived right next to my grandmother in Redemption Shops, the same place I lived since I came back in 1982. Here's a woman who worked harder than most men of that era. But she was a very strict disciplinarian. Very strict disciplinarian. And I am sure Martin will agree that part of that treatment is what made him what he is today. He has built himself up through business, and he has found religion in a very significant way and has been pastoring for very many years. That is a good example of what love is. You see, sometimes, my brothers and sisters, when you love people, you have to do things that they may not like, but which is best for them. You have to help them to understand how you have to have discipline, how you have to be productive, how you can't be involved in violence, how you have to remain in school, how you have to respect your family, your parents, your teachers, everybody. That is what love is about. That is what the NDP is going to bring back. A kinder and gentler society, reducing the criminality. We are not going to put criminals back into the police force after they've been convicted and appealed and lost the appeal. Only criminal minds do those things as head of a government, of a country. to put back criminals in the police force. My friends, we have got to understand that as a people, we are talented, we are gifted. Vincentians go all around the world and perform brilliantly. Lots of Vincentians want to come back home. We in the New Democratic Party will create that love, that environment of respect and caring, that these people will be able to come back and contribute to our development. I promise you, Dr. Friday, a man who is a good family man, a man who has the experience, who has the understanding, who knows what it is to lead a team and to lead it in the right direction. Not doing things as is happening now because an election is coming, but a team that will be working for you every living day in the name of God as we go forward. Those young people who never experienced an NDP government, you will find out what a government should be like. You will understand what Jerry Scott and John Horn and Eddie Griffith and so many who dedicated their lives to serving you, what they did every living day of their political lives. So that when they call the elections over the years, you never see everybody running around like headless chicken because they've done all the work before. That is what the New Democratic Party promises you. And I want to say to you tonight, when you go out and vote for Conroy Huggins, you're doing yourself a favor. You're doing your children a favor. You're doing your children's children a favor. Support the New Democratic Party. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love the NDP. Vote for the key. Thank you. Good night.
The Lord is my light and my salvation. Tell me whom shall I fear? The Lord is my strength, the strength of my life. Tell me whom shall I fear?
Yeah. Let me hear it again for the waterman, Brother Daniel Cummins. Yeah. Well, you know, there's a saying that nature usually takes its course. But it seems like the leader of the government we have here don't realize that. Now, he has already begun his 80th year in existence. And we know that when you reach that age, you're really going down. Nature is really taking its course, and there's only one other place for you after you reach down. But he don't seem to think that nature could take its course with him. So he asking for 6 terms. But we have somebody who ran 3 times, won the seat 3 times, and he is from an area where you have a lot of nature. And he is quiet and calm and cool and does his work just as nature does hers. So, I want you to put your hands together and welcome to the microphone Vice President of the New Democratic Party, the Honorable Nigel Nature Stevenson, who will take his course again in the next general election and bring South Leeward home.
Thank you, Damo. I was a little surprised to see you down here, Damo. Welcome to the Leeward end, boy. Thank you very much, Brother Igal, our chairman tonight. Let me take the opportunity to say a very special good night to everyone who's here in Buccanment. And good night especially to my colleagues on the New Democratic Party. And thank you so much for being here. And good night to the man of the moment, Conroy Huggins. For those of you who are hearing me from your homes in Buccanment, a very, very pleasant good night to you. I am from South Leeward, yes. You heard Bishop talk a little bit about I'm bordering South Leeward and Central Leeward. Well, everybody knows the history, so I would not go into that. But I grew up on the bank of a river that is called the Buccanment River. It is called the Buccanment River and not necessarily the Vermont River. It's called the Buccanment River because when you look up to the mountainside, you would see two mountain ranges, one to the left and one to the right. The land in the center is called the Buccanment Valley. So I am from the Buccanment Valley. I am from the more mountainous area of the Buccanment Valley. And those of you who are living down here, you are living on the coastal end of the Buccanment Valley, my good people of Buccanment Bay. And a lot of people would have heard me on radio and in Parliament debating the walk of the Buccanment River. And a lot of people ask, why is it that you keep concentrating on that river and how it affects the people of Buccanment Bay, and you're not from Buccanment Bay? Well, I just told you I am from the Buccanment Valley. And therefore, hi Sophie. All right. It therefore means that what affects the people of Buccanment Bay directly affects me as a resident of the Buccanment Valley. Now we have a government, and you heard Mr. Cummins not too long ago talk about a government that likes to talk about love, how much they love the people. But the love is really conditional. The love is so conditional that you only have it expressed in a meaningful way on the eve of an election. They don't care about you after the election is gone. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, gone, and nobody cares about you. But on the eve of the election, suddenly people know what love is. Well, we are saying that we have genuine love, and we have genuine concern for the welfare of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the people of Buccanment Bay and Central Leeward. So having grown up on that bank of the Buccanment River, I understand in an intimate way how the river works. I know sometimes it is very unassuming. I understand the fact that in the dry season, it is barely flowing. But I also understand that once we are in the rainy season, that river becomes a sudden, destructive torrent. I've seen it at work in the upper course of the river valley. And what goes on up there, the erosive power of that river, it wreaks havoc along the course of that river into its mouth at Buccanment Bay. So I haven't gone and understood and studied the walk of the river and the fact that the banks of the river in the lower course have been so drastically eroded. I went to the Parliament and I asked questions after questions about when the government is going to start erecting river defense to protect people along the lower course of the river. Now, who are those persons that are living at the lower course of the river. These are the people who are living in the Pembroke area. These are the people who are living in the Cane Grove area. And of course, those of you who are living right here in Buccanment Bay. Because understanding a river, when the river is flowing to its mouth, to its end, it is now flowing on a terrain that is very flat. And you look at down here, look at Buccanment Bay, it is quite flat. And if that river is in flood, and it is going into the sea, my friends, I'm going through a teaching moment because we need to understand how this river works and how this government has neglected the people of Buccanment Bay simply because they really don't care. If a river is flowing into a standing body of water, and when we talk about a standing body of water, we are talking about a lake or a sea as you have down here. Two things happen. Two things are going to happen. Once that river is flowing down there, even if the river is in flood, or as we say, river come down. The first thing that's going to happen as it flows into a standing body of water is that the speed cuts down. The speed of the river is checked, yes. But does it mean that the volume of water or the amount of water that's coming down into the river is less? It is not less. And because Buccanment Bay is quite flat and the flow of the river is reduced, and all that enormous volume of water continues to come down, it means that the height of the river is going to get higher and higher. And as it gets higher, what it's going to do, it's going to breach the bank of the river. Once it breaches the banks of the river, it means that Buccanment Bay becomes a flood area. You would have heard many residents of Buccanment Bay complain. Many residents of Buccanment Bay took their cell phones and flood the destructive flooding of this Buccanment River to their property. And the greatest of all, the worst of all, happened in 2013. That Christmas Eve flood that took the lives of some people right across a couple of 100 feet away from where we are in Buccanment Bay. So one would have thought that having experienced that, the government of the day, the Unity Labour Party administration, will see the urgent need for the erection of river defense. But they didn't do it. What those bright people did, my friends of Buccanment Bay, and I hope you're understanding it. What they did, they went up to Vermont into the Penistone area and widened the river. They widened the river. The Ecuadorian engineers came and told them if they widen the river, the volume, the speed of the water is going to be reduced. And that is true. Because once a river is occupying a wider area, once the valley becomes wider, gravity checks the flow. So it is now going to flow slower. But those bright people widen one vicinity of the river. And 20 feet downstream, just beyond where they widen the river, the water is now flowing into a very narrow channel. And I went back to the parliament and I debated this issue. And I said to them, while it is good that you widen the river valley and the water is slowed down because of gravity, when it goes beyond the bridge now, and it is now flowing into a narrow channel, gravity is going to have the opposite effect. Which therefore means that the water is going to pick up speed again. And once it picks up speed, it is going to be eroding the banks of the river. And not just that, it is going to be breaching the banks of the river. And that is exactly what happened in 2013 and the years after. What was the urgency of the government to go and build river defenses? Did they do that? It took them 10 years after that to begin erecting river defense down here. But these people are so smart. They build the river defense from the seaside upwards. So if you're going to do that, and you're not going to take river defense all the way up to the coast of the river, it means that the river is going to breach the outer part of the same river defense that you put up. And once it breaches it, it is going to remove the stones that they pack those gabion baskets with. And who become vulnerable when the river is in flood again? It is the people of Buccanment Bay. I'm going at great pains to explain this because people of Buccanment Bay need to know how vulnerable you are to flooding. And the fact that this is a government that does not care about you. One of the things that we witnessed in 2013 is the fact that the river channel was blocked by a huge root. It was eroded, it was placed in the center of the river, and it split the river in two. The river mouth now split in two, the river channel. A lot of water came down to Cane Grove. I mean, water actually took a 40-foot container and sailed it like a boat. People, properties became islands because water all around it. Yesterday, I've had the privilege of walking with Conroy in central Leeward, right here in Buccanment Bay. And the residents along the riverbank showed me an enormous tree that came down from Hurricane Beryl last year. It is an enormous tree that took up a half of the floor of the valley of the river, the valley from bank to bank. If river come down again tomorrow, my friends of Buccanment Bay, that enormous root from that tree that has been uprooted by the river is going to cause the river channel to split in two directions. One direction, my friends, is where they have river defense. Who put the river defense there? The people from the hotel is protecting their property. What is the government doing on the other side of the river? Nothing. It therefore means that, again, you become prone to flooding. And who knows how destructive this flooding is going to be? Who knows if anyone is going to lose their lives? What we need, my friends, is a government that really cares, a government that is proactive, that would stop things before they happen. The Unity Labour Party has not been doing so. Precisely. They don't care. Now, you think about a river that is in flood, and you know when a river comes down, that river is dirty because it has eroded a lot of dirt. There's sediments embedded, flowing down in a suspension into the sea. You have a resort down there now, my friends, the Sandals Resort. And yes, you heard it earlier tonight. We are not opposed to foreign direct investment. We want investors to come in because we want to see our people going to work. But the existence and the profitability of those foreign companies, it must not be at the expense of the local people. So when they protect their end of the river by constructing river defenses, what it means is that once the river hits those defenses, it can't breach them. What the river is going to do, it's going to flow in the opposite direction. And who is there in the opposite direction? The poor people of Buccanment Bay who can't build walls for themselves. And this government doesn't see the wisdom in protecting the people of this village and this constituency. The New Democratic Party is going to be totally different. But I was talking about all those sediments flowing down into the river. You have a resort, and yes, by all means, they have to protect their investment. What have they done? They don't want their beautiful white sand beach to be contaminated with the sediments that come into the sea, and wave action is now going to take it and carry it onto the white sand. They don't want that. So what did they do to protect their property? They built something that they call groins. Now, groins, well, that's just one word. Some people call them all sorts of different things. But it looks like a jetty. So if you go down to the Buccanment Bay itself, you would see on two ends of the beach something that looked like a stone jetty. Now, the reason why they construct these groins is to protect properties and beaches from something that they call beach drift. Because there is a way whenever the water is flowing onto the shore a lot of the times it goes what we call perpendicular to the shore. It doesn't flow straight to the shore. So whatever materials is there, it is drifting parallel to the shore. That's the shore, the materials is drifting parallel. So what these resort people have done is build these groins, these long walls, so that any sediment that come down from the river will not go to their establishment, but it will concentrate along the beach where the ordinary man and woman have to be utilizing to bathe and to fish. So you protect one side, and the other side is totally contaminated. Is this a government that really cares about people? Is this a government that really cares? We are saying in the New Democratic Party, we will work and we will coexist with investors and the residents. But no investor will be profiteering at the expense of the way of life of the common man in that community. You heard I got to talk about Chichi, and that's one of the things that growing construction totally destroy the Chichi. I went to the parliament and talked about it, and Orlando Brewster said to me, well, no, that's not going to destroy anything. The farmers will continue to catch their Chichi. Well, who's catching Chichi down there now? Who's catching it? You know what, the people, I'm telling you this directly, the people from the resort said that the government, this is their words, you know. In every respect, the government has laid out the red carpet to us. I'm telling you this from the horse's mouth. The government, in every respect, has rolled out the red carpet to them. That is why they're not paying any taxes. But you are laden, like Mr. Cummins told you earlier tonight, with taxes, especially with VAT. You can't live comfortably because it's up there. It's strangling you. But they're doing everything over there tax-free. And while that is happening, the people can't catch Chichi again. They can't send their children to school from the income of the Chichi. The New Democratic Party is going to look at that beach with a view to correct the wrong and to make sure that the way of life of the people of Buccanment Bay is restored. Buccanment Bay, you have had a government in office that you've been supporting traditionally over the years. You have been installing a government, religiously going to the school along there and voting for them. And what have you had to show after 25 years in government? What you have to show? It is time for a change. I heard someone in the crowd say, galvanize and lumber. Well, yes, as I was talking, I was doing the walkabout yesterday, somebody was relating to me that there are people who are getting materials 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And what are they doing with them? Selling them. And people right next to where those materials is as if they have their own lumber yard. And next, your neighbor house is leaking. Stones on it to keep down the galvanized. This is not a government that truly cares, Buccanment Bay. You need somebody. You need a representative who's going to stand up for you. You need a representative who's going to make sure that there's a more equitable distribution of the resources of the country. And not just one set of people getting it, but every single person as long as you're in need. And the person that I am very confident will ensure that that happens is Conroy Huggins. You heard so much about him tonight. I don't need to tell you anything more about Conroy. But he's a person who is passionate about the development of the people of his constituency. Also about the physical development of the constituency. So I have no greater privilege than to recommend to you, my friends, Conroy Huggins as your next representative, because together he will make sure that you have a better quality of life. Thank you very much, my friends of Central Leeward. Thank you very much, Buccanment Bay. When the bell rings, go out and vote for Conroy Huggins. Thank you.
Yes, I just the blessing. I just the blessing. Father God bless blessing. Well, more blessing. Add up the blessing. Add up the blessing. Them can't stop
Oh,
me.
yes, oh, yes.
I am blessed.
Oh, yeah, we are blessed. Don't doubt it. Yes, yes. Put your hands together again for the nature boy, Honorable Nigel Stevenson. Buccanment, you ready to vote? Buccanment, you ready for change of government? Buccanment, you ready for a new leader? All right. And that new leader is none other person than Dr. the Honorable Godwin Friday. So put your hands together as our leader joins us tonight. He is not speaking right now, but he is joining us tonight. Put your hands together for the next Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Oh, yeah. That's our leader. That's the man who would lead us in the next general election and the one who would lead us to victory. Yes, I just want to shout up Sister Chevron down there. I saw her in the group. Brother Fitz, I saw him down there. And I just saw Dr. Kishore Shallow. So I want to shout all of them up. But at this time, we're going to have... Okay. So, as I was saying, that's the man who's going to lead us in the next general election, but not only lead us, he is going to lead us straight to victory. Now, the first time Dr. Friday led the New Democratic Party in an election, he won the popular votes. And it is the first time that the New Democratic Party won the popular vote in St. Vincent and the Grenadines since 1994. That was in 2020. But this time around, we will not only win the popular votes, but we will also win the most seats in the next general election so that we are rolling straight to government. So when you hear the conch start to come in, well, let me tell you something, eh? Election night, if God spare my life, I only listening for 8. I won't hear nothing after that. Anytime 8 gone, I will know the rest in the morning if God spare life. Anytime 8 gone, I hit in the road. And we coming from North Leeward, from North Windward, from Kingston, all through the plain. So look out! It's NDP again. Yeah. All right, all right. So, at this time we're going to have 5 minutes entertainment, and then we will have one more speaker before the entertainment. In the Kingstons, they can't beat us in Kingston. And they know that. I heard somebody say, one of them say, I ain't calling no name, but one of them say they have 4.5 million and they ain't spending that in no election that they know they're going to lose. And that one of them, they say, is in one of the Kingston seats. Because they say, that one say, even where they live, they're going to get licks. And I ain't calling no name. But you might know who I mean. But in the East, the last election, we had a sun rising up from the East. And the one who was contesting against him said he was going to win and he was going to give him some licks. But it's the first time I saw in public after election a candidate for any party cry on national TV. He got a spanking and he cried. But this time, he will get a beating. So he gonna really ball. Put your hands together and welcome the man who can pass legs out in the east. The brother, the Honorable Dwight Fitzgerald Bramble.
She said, take it easy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. She said, take it easy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, and then she bubble and she bubble and she bubble and wine. Push back is the greatest man. Push back. Roll your waist and bend. Push back. Oh, Miss Lady, bubble and she bubble and she bubble and wine. Push back. Give me the greatest man. Push back. You are the wickedest man. Push back. Why? I wanna know the day you leave me. The day you leave. I started to see my way. When you hurt me, I went away. What I thought was a tragedy.
What's a blessing?
The day you up and leave
What's
us
a blessing? When we have gone can't leave, it's a blessing.
When you leave us a blessing. A blessing. Hands up high. I'm winding low. Like I never be.
Nice. Buccanment, good night. Good night, Buccanment. You know, you see that song we just played there? That is a deep song, I know. I know a lot of we look at it as a party song. The day this wicked administration up and leave will be a blessing, not only for Buccanment and South Central Leeward, but for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We're going to start to see we way. Don't worry. We will start to see we way very soon. Look, tonight, I want to first of all recognize the presence of our esteemed leader and next Prime Minister of this country, Dr. Godwin Friday. And let me tell all you something. Words are powerful. So when we proclaim Dr. Friday as the next Prime Minister, we must mean it. Don't just say it. We must mean it and believe it. And I am telling you, I know, I mean it, I believe it. The people of East Kingston mean it, and they believe it. I also want to recognize Chairman Cummins, parliamentary colleagues, Vice President Nature, and Senator John, all of the other party operatives and supporters, and you wonderful people. Tonight, I want to have a little conversation, because my voice kind of so-so, but that ain't stopping me. Listen, just recently, we were asked by the current Minister of Finance, who is the Prime Minister's son, to allow the Prime Minister to implement the vision for this country. And somebody said till now, like that person been watching me notes. Sister Stevenson, that look like that sound like you. But on a serious note, now, a fella has been in government for 25 years. 25 years, you know. And now his son is coming and asking us to allow him to implement the vision for St. Vincent. You know what vision means? Vision means thinking or planning the future with imagination. That is what vision means, you know. To think about or to plan our future with imagination and with wisdom and with intelligence and all of that stuff. After 25 years, they have not been able to plan and implement a vision for this country. So you know what that means? It basically means that they have been leading our country by guessing. They've been guessing for the last 25 years. Guessing. And that is why we find ourselves in such a quandary. That is why we find ourselves
in such a very challenging situation. They don't care about us. They do not care about us. And let me make it quite clear. When I talk about they do not care about us, I don't want you to get the impression that I am dividing our people between them and us. That is not what I'm talking about. I am talking about a family. And recently in the media, that thinking, on my part at least, has been confirmed that a father and two sons are the ones who have been basically controlling our destiny over the last 25 years. And anybody who wants to refute that, let them come and refute it. So when I talk about they, that's what I'm talking about. Because, you know, even their very own ardent and solid supporters are complaining. They are complaining. Every day I walk through East Kingston, they tell us, boy, Bramble are fed up of them. Some of them invariably would say, I ain't voting for them, so I'm staying home. And I would tell them, look, this is bigger than the Unity Labour Party. SVG is bigger than ULP. SVG is bigger than ULP. So if you are from SVG and you have the interest of SVG at heart, whether you've been supporting the ULP for the last 25 years or not, come out and put SVG first and vote. Vote against the ULP and vote for the New Democratic Party, who will be the vehicle and that conduit for change in this country. Let me tell you why they don't care about us. Listen, you will hear me speak about the economic issues, and by the time the bell is rung, it will be like a broken record in your head, because we need to understand the importance of what has been created by by the Prime Minister and his very non-progressive policies. The level of our national debt, money that we owe, the money that St. Vincent and the Grenadines owes to people and institutions, is the highest it has ever been in our country's history. Right now, St. Vincent and the Grenadines' national debt is about $3 billion with a B. That is about $3,000 million. Let me help you to put things in perspective. In 2001, when the Unity Labour Party came into office, our national debt was $540 million. Now, obviously, when the NDP came into office in 1984, our national debt wasn't 540. But in 17 years, it built up to 540. So, for explanatory purposes, let's just claim it. Let me say that the NDP left our country $540 million in debt. In 17 years, follow me, as Joe Mother say, follow the bouncing ball. In 17 years, the New Democratic Party left a national debt of $540 million. In 25 years, the Unity Labour Party government has increased our national debt by 5 times and counting. You know what that means? They have been in government for 5 terms. For 5 terms. So every single time the people of this country vote them back, every 5 years, they increase our national debt by the amount that the NDP left in 17 years. Think about it. So, in 2005, they increased the national debt by, I'm averaging it out, they increased the national debt by another 540 million. Remember, 540 is what the NDP left now in 17 years. The first 5 years, Labour increased it by another 540. The second 5 years, they increased it by another 540. The third 5 years, they increased it by another 540. The fourth 5 years, between 2010 and 2015, they increased it by another 40. And the last 5 years, between 2015 and 2020, they increase it by another 40. And we're going for the same thing again. Just think about that. Every 5 years, they are increasing our national debt by the amount that the New Democratic Party left when we left office. So when I tell you they don't care about us, that is what I'm talking about. And because of the size of our national debt, every other macroeconomic fundamental is affected. What do I mean by that? Because we owe so much people so much money, unemployment becomes a problem. And here why unemployment becomes a problem. Because we do not grow our economy. Everybody we borrow money from, we're not putting things in place to make sure that our country can generate enough revenue via our productive sectors so that we can pay back the money. So if you not do nothing, if nothing go on in the country in terms of productivity, it means that you don't have work for people. That is why our level of unemployment is so high, especially among young people. Similarly, with poverty, because people are not working and because the government don't have the money to provide opportunities such as business opportunities, you find more people dropping back into the realm of poverty. So you have unemployment, you have poverty. And when I talk about poverty, based on international standards, if you are not making $14 or more a day, if you don't have $14 or more per day on which to live, you are considered as being poor. In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the last poverty assessment was done in 2008. They did one in 2018, and because the results were so damaging and so damning, the Minister of Finance come in Parliament. We say they can't release the report from the 2018 poverty assessment because the data was contaminated. Somebody messed with the data. That we say. That's 7 years ago. So we still don't have a poverty assessment. So for all intents and purposes, the level of poverty in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is probably higher, much higher than the 42% that we are assessed at right now. So in other words, the last assessment concluded that at least 40,000 Vincentians are living on $14 a day or less. Think about it. Think about it. The mighty Shadow from Trinidad, the late great mighty Shadow said, poverty is hell. Poverty is hell. And that is why so many of the social services that this government is supposed to provide for our people are not provided. Because now we have to take every dollar that we make in tax, we have to use some of that to pay back the debt. Right? Because we are not required to pay back all the money at once. If that were the case, if we had to pay back all our debt today, every dollar that St. Vincent and the Grenadines makes, we would have to take 90 cents out of that dollar and pay back with it. But it doesn't quite happen like that. So we pay back a little bit every year. And we use tax money to pay it back. Right now, because we owe so much money, every tax dollar that the government collects, they have to take 40 cents out of that for payback debt. And the other 60 cents you have to use to provide social services such as proper health care in the hospital, medication, payment of salaries. So you wonder why they can't increase public servant salaries. They have to use that money to fix up schools and to provide school supplies, to make sure that the police have proper working conditions so that they can protect and serve us. So you wonder why the police can't do the job, because the government ain't no money to properly upkeep and provide proper working conditions for our police. And you have to find money out of the same 60 cents to fix roads and what have you. So if they can't find money for put medication in the hospital and for pay people and for fix up road, You think they got money to provide sporting facilities and to help our young people? No, they are not. No, they will not be able to. Young people, I want you to listen to me carefully. Sports is very important in any country's development. And I want to address directly the issue of sports here tonight. Because you see that Buccanment Bay playing field over there? I remember when I was training with the national team to go to the Gold Cup in 1996-97. That is what? 28, 29 years ago. The condition of the Buccanment field is still the same as it was when I was training on that field 28 years ago as a national player. They do not care about you. And they do not care about sports. Let me tell you why they do not care about sports. And let me give you some very quick examples. Between Richmond in the north, Leeward, and Kingston, there is not one lighted playing field. Think about that. Between Richmond, and Dr. Shallow could speak to that too when he come up. Between Richmond and Kingston, where you have close to half of our population living, we do not have one lighted playing field. In this country, we have about 72 playing fields or thereabout. And out of those 72, we have 5 lighted playing fields in the entire country. You have Victoria Park, you have the Annisvale playing field, which they just light last year. You have the Caliqua playing field, you have the Brighton playing field, and you have South Rivers playing field. 5. 5 out of 72. And let me give you a little secret. Out of the 5 lighted playing fields, 3 of them they in the Prime Minister and his own constituency. 4 of them. Caliqua, Brighton, well, 3, and South Rivers. 3 out of 5. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not saying that Brighton and Caliqua and South Rivers don't deserve lighted playing fields. That's not what I'm saying. But do you think it's coincidence that 3 out of the 5 playing fields we have lights, they in them the constituency? Something sound fishy there to me. But we ain't gonna go down that road, because when the New Democratic Party forms government, we will have lighted playing fields. I'm not gonna say in every community, but certainly, way more than 5 out of 72. And definitely, the regional playing fields like Cumberland, Buccanment, and those places will be lighted. This Unity Labour Party government promised us, since 2001, they promised us a national indoor sporting facility. 25 years later, not only don't we have a national indoor sporting facility, but we do not have one hard court that is covered. Even if you just put on a roof and you say you go put some tarpaulin on the side, so if rain come, the rain ain't go blow. Not one hard court have a cover. I mean, come on. Young people, I hope all you listening me, you know. Because I am very passionate about sports. And let me tell you a secret. The New Democratic Party, I was checking it today. I ain't gonna I better don't call the names because I might get in trouble. But of the 15 candidates from the New Democratic Party, 11 of us have been involved in sports at very decent level, locally, nationally, and internationally, or in some sort of sports administration. Dr. Friday played cricket and football. He captained me when I was in Beckway Anglican High School. Major Leacock was president of St. Vincent Football Federation. Nature played cricket for St. Vincent. Well, Kish, his record speaks for itself. He played cricket for St. Vincent, and he has proven to be the most effective president of cricket West Indies to date. So let them come and tell me let them come and tell me about little black boy. That little black boy, my friend, has been the most effective president of Cricket West Indies. And then we have Brother Israel Bruce. Israel Bruce was the manager of the national football team when I represented that team in California in the Gold Cup in 1997. And Bruce is also the president of the National Chess Association. Sister Chevron John played netball. Well, I didn't even know when Chevron was in Farm 6 in grammar school. I was teaching grammar school. She and Renson and all them. Renson tell me the other day, boy, Chevron was a bad netballer. But me can't remember she. And not to talk about her successful sporting events since she has been involved in politics. Who else we got? I forget anybody? Shaka. Brother Shaka Cupid played cricket at the youth level. Sister Lavon Velox has the long jump record in girls' high school. You want me to continue? So when we talk about sports and when we talk about the New Democratic Party being not only interested in sports, but understanding the importance of sports, you see why. Look. Oh yes, Mix, Conroy. Oh Lord, mother. Brother Mix, well here now. Mix tell me the other day, he said, boy, Bramble, anytime I could score a penalty for you any day. So I am taking the opportunity in Mix's constituency to throw out the challenge. Mix, we're going to go into the penalty shootout and we're going to see what's happening. But Mix also brought a football team in the Barley Football League for years as a young man. And he played football as well. And he will tell you about that more when he comes up. But the thing is, the New Democratic Party, I see how you guys watching me time up. The New Democratic Party has a vision. We know how to plan, and we have planned for the future of our country and for the future of sports with imagination. Our National Athletes Program will make sure. All right, okay, sister, I know you want me to come down, but let me finish. Listen to me. The New Democratic Party has developed and will implement a National Athletes Program where, as long as you have made it to the national level in any sporting discipline, you will be compensated, you will be paid. And if you get to the point where you're not at the national level, you will either be working, learning a skill, or going to school. That is how we are going to take care of our national athletes. The National Athlete Program. We will identify sporting talent from a very young age and put them in a stream where we can develop them into elite athletes like Shafiq Maloney, like Handel Roban, and all the others. So, young people, there's a future for you in sports, and the New Democratic Party will make sure that we develop and implement that vision for that future in sports. Let me finish by saying this. If you want to benefit from some of the things that I just mentioned here tonight, and I have a lot more, but I can't continue because of time. I am encouraging you to make sure you go out and register, because it doesn't make sense you come here, make a whole set of noise, and when election they come, your name not on the list. So make sure you go out and register. And Central Leeward, and Buccanment, make sure when the day comes, when you go to the polls, you look for the symbol, which is the key. You look for your candidate of the NDP, Brother Conroy Huggins, and you put your X next to the key and Brother Huggins. If you don't do that, the current Prime Minister and the Unity Labour Party will continue to put that hook in our gill deeper and deeper and deeper. We don't want that. So vote for Conroy, vote for the New Democratic Party, and let us implement our vision for a brighter future. Buccanment, Central Leeward, I love you, thank you, and God bless you.
I started to see my way, when you hurt me and went away. What I thought was a tragedy. What's up?
Yeah.
He did your belief was a blessing. A blessing.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
There we hear it again from Brother Fitz. Well, I tell you what, there's so much thing to talk about that. If we keep talking tonight, we stay here the whole night. But we can't stay the whole night, so we're gonna move on. But now we're gonna take our five minutes break for some entertainment, and then we will come right back where we will have another speaker.
There was a little black boy, a black boy was he. The boy went to school and he come out unseen. Never learned how to read, he never learned how to pose. Can't get no work, he can't.
You know where the skull fits?
Try to steal.
You know where the skull Huggins?
But little black boy couldn't last long at all. The police put a bullet through his Duncy head skull. Little black boy.
Where did I skull him?
Little black boy.
Where did I skull him?
Education is the key to get you off the street and off poverty. Little black boy, go to school and learn. Little black boy, show some concern.
Little black boy.
Education is the key to get you off the street and all poverty. Why,
I don't know why some people don't vote Labour Party and I made so much pressure, you know. If you're fed up with all the pressure in Vince right now, put up your right hand right now.
This one is for all
put him up.
Hardworking people.
Put him up. Put him up. We got about 5 minutes. Put him up. You see election now, we have voted them out in fine style. Everybody put up your right hand and sing. Sing it out now. What you say?
You think it's easy for Baba stand up in the shop?
And what? And not no go and sing.
You think it's easy for Baba stand up sun all day? Applaud it back.
You got some people that work every day and never can't pay the light bill. You can't pay water bill. You never know how you make it, but put up your right hand and sing. Everybody sing. What? But who?
We are feeling from a little and a grow. Our feels it knows it. Sometimes we feel like we let go. Our feels it knows it. We are feeling from a little and a grow. Our feels it knows it. I only judge and know.
As I believe people business and mind your own. As I believe people business, leave people business alone. Leave people business and mind your own. Leave people business alone. Leave people business and mind your own. You in my way, like a rolling stone. Like stone, cannot break your bone. But David killed Goliath with a sling and a stone. Samson killed the Philistine with a donkey jawbone. So leave people business alone. Leave people business and mind your own.
The scent of a sunlight in the day and a moonlight. The scent of a sunlight in the day and a moonlight in the night. Fishes are dancing in the rivers rolling by. There is still a blue sky.
And what?
Until another baby cries.
I wonder why some people say.
When am I crying for? Sing it out. Life goes on. What happened? Life goes on. Sing it out.
Life goes on. Cause every day another baby's born. Sweet, sweet memories on my mind. We gotta take some time. Cease from war, the killing and crime. Life goes on. Life goes on. Life goes on.
I ain't got much time, man, but let me turn it up one more. Let me turn it up one more now. Listen.
Woman, I got what you want. I got what you need. I got what you're looking for.
Free up yourself, man. Free up yourself. NDP people, free up yourself. Listen.
It's a man like me you want. Oh, it's a man like me you need. Girl, it's a man like me.
All you free up all yourself now. We have something. We have something now. Listen.
Oh, it's a man like me you want. Yes, it's a man like me you need. Girl, it's a man like me you want. You know your life to make you feel complete. Get it, bing, the bang, the bang. All right, big girl.
Bloody hands them.
The pretty girl them, the girl them. And it's the pretty girl them, the girl them.
Uh-huh.
And the girl them in love, and the girl them in love, and the girl them in love. Y'all have one wicked and get wild. From them here we name.
Master man, hey.
Was not good for any young and now. I'm going back to my roots. Reggae music is all that I need. I'm going back to my roots. If you walk out through the door, goodbye, my love. I won't take it anymore. Adios, mi amor. Russian, she take me for a joke.
They said somebody won the election last year by one vote. I don't know whether they were right or wrong, but whenever they finished the count, they said he won the election by one vote. So, he was elected as the parliamentary representative for North Leeward, and they nicknamed him Wani or One Vote. But the people of North Leeward say that this time around, they have a candidate who gonna take on Wani, and Wani can't win by one. But the candidate will give him a blow. And that candidate is none other than Dr. Kishore Shallow. He's gonna give him the knockout blow in this election.
So we are coming here with a force, yeah. Blessings we are reaping, we coursing on full. Oh, in a rise and boast. Yeah, we give thanks that we need it the most. We have to give thanks that we really supposed to be thankful. Blessings all from it.
Thanks, brother. I tell you all, Sappy is one of the best MCs in the whole country. All I give it up for Brother Eagle. Good night, Buccanment. How y'all feeling? Everybody are here? All right. I want to walk. Let me tell you all, you see them North Leeward people there? They just come to mark the territory to say, well, this fella is mine. so they here come in Buccanment Domo. So they say, let me make sure you come and represent. Thanks for the support and love as usual. I have 10 minutes with you here this evening. All right? So let me reason a little bit. Right, Pacha? We can reason a little bit.
All right. I don't need to tell you all that while I consider myself a coastal boy, I also consider myself a Buccanment man. Because I went to school in primary school, I went to Westwood Methodist School in Coastal. But for all the other days, my adulthood was right here in Buccanment. So I am home. I am home. And it's really, really great to be home with you lovely people of Buccanment and Central Leeward. So the reasoning tonight is necessary at this point. And in addition to that, I want to ensure that I tell you why the NDP is the party of choice whenever the bell is rung later this year. So let me talk about change first. Now, I will be the very last person to come and try to convince anyone that this government that has been there for 25 years has not done anything. On our side, our esteemed leader, Dr. Friday, Major, Nature, and the rest of my team, they will not tell you that. But what we have observed, and we say it with great conviction, is that what we have been seeing over the years is clear evidence of not only tiredness, but incompetence based on the fact that, you know, when you reach a point of entitlement and you start taking things for granted, that is where this government is. And they have been there for some time. But now more than ever, they are a government that is ready to leave. And I tell you what, you know, they have accepted that it is time for them to move on, and they have shown us signs. It's for us to actually recognize and accept these signs that they have shown us. But you have a government who is clearly, all they do currently is, you know, as a driver, you put in reverse and everything, you're just going backward. That is what we are seeing currently from this government. A government that is just recycling ideas when they are not stealing from us, of course, but they're just taking everyone for granted. And we are at a point now where it is no longer about the people. It is no longer about you, the people of Buccanment, or you, the people of Central Leeward. It is about them. It is about a selective few and pleasing themselves. You know, and I was in the gym this morning, and as soon as I walk into the gym, I met a lady, very spiritual lady. And she told me, she said, she's a family friend, and she knew my parents well. She called me Kish. She said, Kish, we are at a point where we have a prime minister, and he is begging us to rescue him from himself. He is begging Vincentians to rescue him from himself. And also he is telling Vincentians, please rescue St. Vincent from him. He is saying, rescue SVG from him. We have to listen to the call. And so, whether you supported him in the past, whether you supported that party in the past, we have to know when it's time to embrace change. Because what change does, it brings fresh ideas. It brings fresh energy. And that is what we clearly need in St. Vincent and the Grenadines at this point. And no one can argue that. You know, and the truth is that we have seen for a very long time now, years we have observed it, where different parts of the country at different times have been neglected. For the majority of the 5-year terms, we have observed neglect right throughout on the entire Leeward side. Neglect. Right here in Buccanment. You know, there's a road going up here by the park for the longest while. I mean, there are people living up there, even some of the guys who walking over on the Sanders, they who walk up there. Total darkness. Not even a street light. Basic things these people can't get right. The height of neglect. Now you could go further. And I want to zoom in on this quickly before I go to sports and tell you why the NDP is the party of choice. You have an education system that they brag about, they boast about. And nature, I have heard you talk of this many times. But you have your leading girls' school for the longest while out of commission, really, the building. And you don't consider people from the Leeward side of the island. And these are simple things, and I want you to listen to me carefully because these are things that we take for granted. You're coming from the Leeward side of the island for years, and you have to take a van to Kingston, and then you have to pay again to go to Annisville. Then you repeat that again, you come back to Tongue, and you come back to the Leeward side. These are costs being incurred by Vincentians, certainly on the Leeward side, daily, that we have not calculated and spoken about enough. But yet, why do you neglect that? You neglect Girls High School, you neglect Thomas Sanders School, but yet you're building a massive headquarters in town with taxpayers' money. If you all go up town, go up Richmond Hill up where you all will see a big headquarters going on. Prenso, you see it yet? I know you're now flying. You see it yet? Big headquarters building there. I am sure that there's millions of dollars. I won't repeat what Morris me today. Okay, you might want to sue me. You know they will lock me up all now. Any reason for lock me up now, they're going to be happy. I ain't giving them that. But I say with all level of seriousness that you have neglected people on the Leeward side, making sure that they incur additional expenses with no consideration for the people on this side and poor people. That is the height of neglect. And that is only one example. In fact, I see recently they're going around and boast about they give 3,000 scholarships over the last few days. I don't know about you all, you know, but listen, I am so familiar with these people that they are enemy of the truth and friends of owning lies and deception, that not even that I am going to accept. Right? I am not accepting that figure in nature. Nature, I want to see them publish that list there, tell me which course them people are going to do, which universities they're going, which year they're in, because that 3,000 here they're boasting about could easily be 300 people. So I am not accepting that until they prove it. Let me talk about sports and the neglect for sports in this country. Buccanment. I grew up right above the park, right above the playing field. And Buccanment had one of the most vibrant competitions in this entire country. I used to look forward to those tournaments where I could go up and see whether Shisha, Raga, and all them other fellas, ex of blessed memory and the whole crew, Kimbasi up there all year, play against the rest of whether it is the entire South Leeward and Central Leeward, people coming from all over the country and playing right here in Buccanment. Absolutely no support from this government for sports. And that led to killing that tournament. I can't tell you the last they had that tournament up there. Right? And you're talking about incredible talent being neglected there. You could imagine if these young fellas had the opportunities to develop their skills, not only with systems, but with infrastructure. Where these guys could have been. These fellas could have been playing in major leagues across the world. And Rents, you know, Jan Fitz know more about this and Major know more about this than me. Because you're all are footballers and football administrators. But as someone who appreciates sports administration, as someone who appreciates greatly the value of sports tourism, I am saying to you with great certainty and conviction that this government is not fit, or they do not have the moral authority to speak about anything related to sports. Zero. Because they're clueless about sports. On the contrary, when the New Democratic Party gets there in office after you vote Dr. Friday and his entire team, we are going to transform sports and all the other sectors in this country. Because we believe that Vincentians deserve far greater than they have received over the years, all the last 25 years under this government. We believe in Vincentians that by giving you the opportunities, you are going to make the best. And not only for yourself, but for your friends and your families and your communities. And that is how we are going to develop St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So, what we are going to do in essence is work together with you, the people of Buccanment, Central Leeward, and all over St. Vincent and the Grenadines to build and transform our country. And I could tell you, every single member of the New Democratic Party, we believe that. Because we have not been only talking. We have been sitting in boardrooms and we have been planning with our executives and other experts. And we are going to deliver for you from the very first day when we are in office. And so it is about simply. And I hear some people talking about the welcome North Leeward to vote. I hear all, you know. I hear my friends from Buccanment saying so. My friends and family up here, I hear all. But I'm telling you all, down the lock, they don't need to come down there. We don't see long there. Right, Joseph? So, we don't get bonus already. But I want to tell you, as I've done directly, that a vote for Conroy Mix Huggins is a vote for Kishore Shallow. A vote for Mix is a vote for NDP and Kishore Shallow. And so, if you are my friend who I grew up with here in Buccanment, I'm a family, ensure that you give Mix the support. And I will say this lastly before I leave, because I think my 10 minutes might be up. Just imagine you have 2 representatives in Parliament and Cabinet, in Mix and Kishore. I mean, listen, things nice. And then you have nature up there as well. Because nature don't tell all day. He's a Buccanment man, he's a Central Leeward man. So just imagine when you elect the whole corridor from the Leeward side, what's going to happen? It's true transformation. So again, I ask you, give Brother Mix your support. I love you, Buccanment. I love you, Central Leeward. God bless.
Oh yes, put your hands together again for Dr. Kishore Shallow, the one who's gonna deliver the knockout blow on election day. So one, he will not only be beaten, he will be knocked out in the next general election. But we're moving on. We're moving on. Yeah, ring the bell. Time to ring the bell. But the time coming down, you know, either he gonna ring the bell or the bell gonna ring him, because the time is getting down. And so tonight the time also is moving on. So you notice as pure men were speaking tonight. And you know, they call men the tons. But among the tons, you always have the rose. You know, the rose must be among the thorn. And from way up in the north, you know, the cool breeze is just blowing from the north, and it's coming right down all the way. We just heard from one end of the north. This time we're going to hear from the other end of the north. Put your hands together and welcome the queen of politics in SPG, Honorable Sister Siobhan John.
Children of Zion, come on, come on, come on. Ooh. Oh, mother of Zion.
Thank you very much, Brother Eagle. Thank you, Domo. Good night to our President, Dr. Friday, Vice Presidents Leacock and Stevenson, colleagues, Central Leeward, good night. All right. And you have heard a lot tonight from those who have been before me. Tonight, I want to encourage you to talk to your neighbor, talk to your friend, talk to the person beside you that you meet daily, and encourage them to support the new Democratic Party. This is the party that will deliver to you, the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. No one will be left behind. I want to encourage you also to let them know that the umbrella of the NDP is broad. We are not rejecting anyone. Come on home, as someone said tonight. That is what we want to win the next general election. I want to tell you also tonight that nobody's job will be taken away from them. Our task, and you have heard us said before on many occasions, that we want to reduce the unemployment rate in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It means that we have plans and policies in place to ensure that you are learning or that you are earning. We will create the opportunities for you to get a job. So the roadwork gang members, the drivers, the timekeepers, we are not taking your work. Actually, you will be better off because we will be paying you more. And we will be adding more to the jobs so that other people can have a better standard of living. In the New Democratic Party, we will look out for each other. The Bible says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. And it is not happening now. So in the NDP government, we will ensure that your neighbor and you and your children are secure for the future. This is a party, a team that is ready to take you, to take your family into the near future. And we will ensure that we deliver to you the plans that our party leader will expound on and others have expounded on. We will ensure that we deliver to you. So come on, this year, support the New Democratic Party. Vote for the key. Vote for Conroy. Conroy is a man of God. Conroy was sent to represent you, the people of Central Leeward. Do not let him down. Let us take the entire Leeward corridor as we walk into the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Good night. Thank you. God bless you.
Oh, yes. Yeah. That was Sister Chevron John. Put your hands together for her. And you know she's working very hard up in the north so that she can take the north windward and count it with the New Democratic Party. I was traveling to Chateaubelair today, and the driver was a very young person who looked anything like about 22. I didn't think he was older than that. And we were speaking different things, but then he chipped in and he said, you didn't think it's time for change? Well, you know, when I hear that, you know how it goes. So I say, really, the young people are thinking, and they can see what is happening and how things are not working for them. And he mentioned, he said, boy, so many of us have to leave our families and go overseas, not because we want to go, but because we are forced to go, because we can't make a living in SVG.
Steamy.
And this is sad. And that is why you got to go to the polls, whether you're young or you're old, on election day, and put your X next to the key and vote solidly for the New Democratic Party and make sure that SVG wins the victory. The next person I'm going to bring to you, not too long come from South Central Windward because he was speaking up there. He is the vice president of the New Democratic Party. He is my representative in the House of Parliament. And I am the chairman for his constituency. We in Central Kingston, we are solid as a rock. So put your hands together. Welcome to the microphone. None other than the man himself, Major, the Honorable St. Clair Leacock. Solid as a rock.
Solid as a rock. If you're asking me, will my love ever be? Well, you know I tell you truthfully. It has got no beginning nor ending. Won't slip, won't slide, won't break, won't bend. Oh, let me tell you now, my love. Solid as a rock.
All right, DJ. Buccanment. I really wanted to make a good presentation this evening, but the night has got away from us. And I have to make sure that there's enough time there for my distinguished leader, Dr. Friday. Welcome home, Doc. Good to have you back. You have a lot of work to do. And of course, the man of the moment, your Conroy, has to make time to present properly tonight. So I am going to cut it short with just a greeting or two. Daniel, my political twin, good night. Siobhan, Honorable, good night. Who am I missing now? Fitz, count your days. Nature, you still here? Who else there? Kishore, Wani partner. And let me acknowledge the presence of the Kingston Posse, Ingrid and Company. You know, we make it our business to go wherever the campaign is to lend support to the candidates to make sure we form government. And of course, I travel with Zion, the bad John Kaisonian, my campaign manager Kenny's in the crowd, and Mr. P, chairman of our Block 2000. Of course, Central Kingston is here tonight. I got they're waiting up to see if you're going to drop off the stage, but I tell them. Okay, damn. Good night. Buccanment, yesterday, I had the privilege to be in this constituency. There were two teams of us, VP Nature and myself. You know, I even see them many nights done, but I know they came down the other side, and I was with Conroy's team. You know, interestingly enough, before the walk started, we had some advice as to where we should go and where we shouldn't go, and who is labor and who ain't labor, and we went brave. Boy, I think there's only one house give you a little kind of uncertain time. But the ground is good. It is fertile. Literally speaking, every house was a welcoming house. And what you capture there is that the mood for change in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is all around. The people can't wait. I was saying to myself, it's the first time I see people make up their minds so early in the election. It probably means that the guys who are doing the government now are doing a real bad job. And we got to get rid of them. Tonight, I have to lend a little support to Conroy, not just because he's a good guy, right man for the right time, for the change that has to come, but because Dr. Friday didn't just put this team of us together because he had nothing to do. I think after near 25 years, as some people describe us, in the wilderness, but 25 years in which we have been able to get our politics right,
And you'd ask what I mean by getting our politics right. We didn't come to policy. We didn't come to position. We didn't come to candidate selection by sitting in a lofty office, feeling that this candidate, that candidate, the other person had some right of entitlement to hold a high office. He led from in front and traveled the length and breadth of St. Vincent and the Grenadines in what we call walkabouts, which provided us the opportunity to see our people's life and living real time. And the truth be told, while a number of people, of our people, with our resilience, honesty, great value system, have been able to keep the head above water, you really don't want to look down and see what's happening with the foot because it's busy keeping them afloat. But in all of that, there are just simply too many people who are crying out for a better life. Too many people crying out for a better life. As the custodian will say, life hard, rough, and tough. And it varies. Whether it is those who by the riverbanks or those on the hillside who have been ignored since NDP left office, who simply need a retaining wall. Whether it is those who need a footpath to get to their homes. Whether it is those who have had to cut the stairways to their home out of dirt and put something to cover it so they don't slip away. Whether it is those who, when the van dropped them off the road, have another long distance to carry bags and have to shout and call the children out to get them home. Whether it is those who have to look around their surroundings and see what bush they can pull or what animal they can kill to provide sustenance. Whether it is those who are suffering silently because they are victims of the vaccination. Whether it is those who have suffered from victimization. Whether it is those who have lost their daughters to having to go and eke out a living by a career not recommended for most. Those who haven't seen their sons for days because they have chosen a life of crime and violence and gun-toting. St. Vincent in the Grenadines is in a dark place. Very dark place. And the situation, brothers and sisters, is not helped when they have worked hard, real hard. The better word is damn hard. And they see that with all their work, they have got only this far. And on the hillsides, there are those who haven't worked a day in St. Vincent, in the public or private sector, but they can live it up with big boats and engines and high life. Whether it is when they go to an airport or their sons or daughters are leaving and they say, Mom, Dad, Uncle, Nanny, Tenant, you know all 5 restaurants in this airport belong to the same family. Whether it is those who say, how come in a small St. Vincent and the Grenadines, one individual could only have 3 jobs? Solicitor, ambassador, minister of finance. And they say we can also see through the fact that at 80 years old, and if he stays, you'll be 84, 85, if God gives him good health, but that he's holding on only to see that a son who never led a political party can be made a prime minister in a country, that he could get his wish, that the New Democratic Party, all of us, suffer and die. They say for all those reasons and observations, Dr. Friday, Conroy, Kishore, Daniel, Trevon, Fitz, we need you now more than ever. And this new Democratic Party says, we understand that need. We are applying for the job. We are ready to hit the ground running because we have traveled a long way. We have traveled the broken path and the successful path of Officer James Mitchell. We know what it's like to give land to the landless. We know what it's like to create an economic democracy. We know what it was like to take lands for public purpose and give you a better education, scholarships and opportunity. We know and understand what it is like to make St. Vincent to be a place for all Vincentians. We know what it is like to have representative politics. And so we can't wait for that joyous day when this wonderful team of experienced men and women and youthful and exuberant leadership comes before us and rescue our St. Vincent and the Grenadines and take us to that promised land. Tonight, as a vice president of the Democratic Party, there's a particular joy in my heart that having been in this vineyard for this many years, that time has come that when I take my seat in Parliament and I look to the left, or as the songster says, and I look to the right, and I look in front, and I look behind, I see a Conroy, I see a Kishore, I see a Chevron, I see a Bruce, I see a Lavon, I see a Philip, and I see hope has arrived. And I can say, thank God, St. Vincent is in good hands. And I could say, I pray for that day when you, the people who are so deserving, enjoy that better life that you have worked so hard of. I promise you, in Buccanment, in Central Leeward, that I will give you that presentation of that long and hopeful speech some other time. But for tonight, I still love you. In Central Kingston, as indeed in all the Kingstons, and in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, this your blessed party, the New Democratic Party, is solid as a rock. Good night, thank you, and God bless you.
My love, it's as solid as a rock, solid as a rock, solid as a solid as a
Oh, yeah.
it's as solid as a rock.
Solid, 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 solid. And that's the love of the NDP, solid as a rock. 25 years almost in opposition, but we ain't run and gone anywhere. We are right here because we love the people and we are sticking with the people. Well, last election, in something like if it was a parable, there was a speech the man we have here as the Prime Minister was giving. And he said, Brewster, handsome man in the party. Well, what he really meant, but a lot of people didn't get it, is that Brewster was going to win by the most votes. So in Central Leeward, he won, he shared a lot of licks, and he won by 500 and something votes. But that was 2020. This is now 2025. So the tables are about to turn. And when you bring to represent you
MP Bramble, Chairman MP Cummins, Brother Kish, and all of you who are here with us, my team, Team Huggins, security tight up here, and security tight in Central Leeward. Because we got this, and the thing turn up. And since the thing turn up, you know, people head hot up. And we just bringing energy and vibes. So I want to thank all of you for being here. Really want to say a few thank yous before I go in. You see, sometimes you come to a meeting and you just enjoy the vibes, you like the energy. But you see the song crew who set up here this evening, ensure everything in place, want to really big them up. Really want to big them up. Definitely. My brother and his team doing the live, we want to big them up too. We thank ITFX and the NDP page for sharing the live. So tonight, we are in Buccanment. And I must let you know that the night on the 5th of September, when I was elected, not selected, elected, because there was a runoff between two candidates, right? So we don't do selection, we do election, because we are a democratic party. We do things in the right way. And even when they get 2 and 3 candidates, they still do selection. I'm going to make 3 fundamental points tonight, because I do not intend to be long, because the people of Buccanment, they have been seeing me from September right through. Up to yesterday, I was on the ground. I know their concerns. I have been addressing their concerns. And tonight, I will put all of that in a summary in point number 2. But the first thing I want to establish tonight is as we go into this election for 2025, the choice is simply clear. Leadership, we have it. Team, we have it. I was speaking to a lady, a family, last week. And they said to me, Huggins, when I analyze the thing, the leadership of the NDP, Dr. Friday, fit. And the rest of the team, fit. You heard our MP Major just a while ago, and you got from Chairman Cummins earlier. They are probably the 2 most senior members of the team. But you see how the men lean. And Major is a man walking Kingston every day. You know other people can't do that. They have to get people to help them up. So the lady said to me, the other man who still want to hold on for leadership, he feeble. He feeble. So the choice for leadership is between fit and the future and feeble and the past. Because when you near 80, it means that your time is done. It's time for retirement. But they can't retire because of whatever reasons. So, this team here, we are here to retire the expired, tired for good. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. After this election, the tired, expired, who does not want to go, will be retired. And wherever you want to go, after the forensics, we go deal with the issues for that. Well, I don't want to say that. At that meeting on the 5th of September when I was elected, right after the meeting, a young lady from Buccanment was a part of that election team. She tell me call she name. Sister Johnson. Yeah, my sister Keisha. She called me and she called Dr. Friday and she said, you all have to come to Buccanment immediately, as soon as you can. Because the community of Buccanment, they have felt neglected by both parties since 2020. Dr. Friday said, we will make it priority. Now, when we had the decision, the position was to come to Buccanment first. But then I said to Doc, Doc, boy, me born in Brother Curtin, and me have to start my first walkabout in Curtin. Doc agreed, the rest of the team agreed, so we did that walkabout in Curtains. But 2 weeks after, we came to Buccanment. And when we came to Buccanment, we went down this road here, right by the polyclinic. And then we go across by the secondary school. And we went around. But when we got here, this road was now under construction. So I thought. And then the people in the community said, this road started a year ago, and after a year, they have not even done 100 feet of road. That was like interesting to me because as a project manager, once you have the resources, you organize your time and scope, and you could get that thing done in no time. So I asked, what's really going on? So as I did my investigation, I understood the thing. And I walked around after that walkabout by myself and with Keisha and others. We came to the community. The business people in here said to me, Huggins, the road ain't going done before 2025, it ain't going done before election. I challenged them and I said, I am putting it to you that once election is not called within 3 months, this road must be done. And I said it with conviction. Why? Because in the 4 years of the present representative being in office, the community of Central Leeward, Buccanment, and all of Central Leeward have been so neglected that it was even worse than the 20 years before. So, when I talked about it, the people said to me, Huggins, we can't see this coming. Businessmen, I kid you not. The business people, the shop owners, they all said to me, this thing is not going to be done. I said to them, the Buccanment Ring Road must be done. And the reason why, because the level of work that I was bringing to Buccanment, they could not have gone into the elections without this being completed. It is not fully completed, but you could see work is going on. And look at this, I came with the team and the rest of the NDP to do our public meeting right here in Buccanment. Now I'm going to come back to Buccanment. Right now, the people of Central Leeward are saying, Mix, in a position, you are the minister of roads. Because every time you talk about roads in Central Leeward, they're running hopscotch to go fix. I talked about this one on the 13th of October last year when we had the convention in Petrobodel. The following day, the 14th of October, the workforce was doubled. And after the workforce was doubled, they line out 200 additional feet of road. And within 6 weeks, they concrete that. And they start to move with pace and haste because I was blazing fire, real fire. Then I talked about the road in Palmis, going up into Bellwood. Well, we know that it's not going to be delivered before election. But they're trying to save face because the people in the community there said to me, Huggins, it's in Straker time. Every election, they come and they line up, put down ribbon and play with a fool. I won't call the person name, but he's a big man up in the air party system. And the man said to me, he's so fed up, he can't vote for them again. Because every election, they say they're going to do this road and they ain't do the road. But I already told him, under our administration, as your representative, I will be doing that road. So that road is going to go all the way up into Bellwood. Brother Nature and I have talked about it, and we're going to link it back to Vermont because we're going to open the lands for farming and agriculture. Well, don't talk about the village meeting in Butland Glass on the 8th of August. From the time I hit it, I've been talking about the Butland Glass Road from Silima Shop going down to the fishery center that they left there to just rotten down. And where they're building now, the blackfish processing plants. You won't imagine, 10 days after our meeting, the guys them start to rip up the road, start to fix, and start to put on plaster seed. I said to them, good for the people of Buccanment Glass, because even though I'm in opposition, I am delivering. Because when I speak, they have to act, they have to work. Because when I speak facts, and I speak the truth, because I am engaging with the people, and I know where the people are. So as we speak now, even up to Saturday, they were walking on the Buccanment Glass Road. Listen to this now. You ever see Braxton walk a Sunday? Even Sunday, after church, I went to Church Barrel Evangelical Church Sunday. And after there, I went down to the gas station, the Fisheries gas station, to fill up my vehicle. Boy, the man them, they like tack, hopscotch, walking non-stop. I said to them, boy, me how you good? Keep up the good thing, man. You all doing the road. But here people them a jam down say now. They say, Huggins, the thing that just turn up now. The thing turn over. Because all our being a support labor, we coming for you now. No matter what they give us, we giving you the support. You know what they told me? They say, Huggins, this is your road. This is a mixed road. So we're going to call it Huggins Street. I have a Huggins Street in Leeward already. And we're going to have another Huggins Street in Buccanment Glass. Because the people said, after 25 years, the Buccanment Glass Road moved from pitch to dirt. And after I came, they're going to have one meeting. Road fix. So they say, Huggins, this have to be named after you. Now, I could go on and on in terms of the neglect of Central Leeward, but we don't have time for that. I want to speak directly to the people in Buccanment. We are here today with you because we care about you. This is genuine. We care about you. And I've been engaging you since last year. I'm always in the community. And Brother Kish, Brother Nature, Brother Fitz, they talk about the Buccanment playing field. I played on that playing field. Our club team, Curtains United Sports Club, the football team, we played there and we won the tournament. I think it was in 96. Still a little teenager and all of that now. All the 20s thereabout. I think I even had scored most goal in that tournament too. I think they're nice. But that surface was one of the best football playing field surfaces in all of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Brother Fitz, today, it is nothing to what it used to be back then. Nothing to what it used to be 25, 30 years ago. Nothing. 30 years ago. Nothing. It is just being used now for animals to graze. There is no plan. You heard Dr. Shallow talk about when he was a youth watching football. He called Shisha name. Shisha was a part of our team. Shisha was my teammate. He was playing center forward. Shisha lived over so. I was playing in the midfield. We played ball together. So I know what I'm talking about. So when I talked about Vision Central Leeward 2025, 2035, a 10-year vision plan for the development and restoration of Central Leeward, ain't no joke thing. It's because as I walk through the community and I engage the people, I listen to them, I make my observations, and we have done consultations with the people, with the farmers, with the fishers, with the sports people. I've been doing consultations with them. So when I talked about these three playing fields in Curtains, Barreley, Leyu, and Buccanment, Brother Fitz said he can't say all the playing fields, but I could understand that. But I could say to you tonight that all three playing fields in Central Leeward under Vision 2025-2035 will be resurfaced, fenced, seating provided, and proper floodlights. Buccanment playing field is in that, and we put in proper seating facilities. We're going to make that a top-class cricketing facility. Top-class cricketing facility. under vision, Central Leeward, 2535, the Buccanment Secondary School. We will expand it, and it needs renovation. I spoke to workers there, and they are not pleased with the present condition. So that will be one that will be renovated in this constituency and will be expanded also. Right? Brother Nature talked about the river defense. Now, as part of the project to upgrade the playing field, that will come into effect, the river defense for the people. I talk to the people up in Cane Grove there on the Pembroke side all the time, and those right down here. And the biggest concern they have is the river defense. And listen to this. Why? The previous investments before the present, when they did their investments, there was support from the government to them for them to do a defense on their side. And the government did not support the people to do it on their side. They said to me since Straker time, Straker promising them to do the river defense. And it was never done. I am saying to you, with the NDP, once you elect us, with the NDP, under Vision Central Leeward 2535, the river defense is going to be done. Farmers and fishers, you are not left out of this vision. Brother Bishop talked about the 98 acres of lands that the NDP administration bought and put in the hands of the people, empowering the people. This administration took it all away. And you see what they did, right? Pass it over to the foreigners. They don't see us with value. And they're now looking to do more of that in Central Leeward. I talked about it in April. So they're going after Mount Twin, they're going after Peter. So, but the good thing about it is just a little bit of time remaining. So some renegotiation will definitely have to take place. Because we have to know the details. Because those lands which were purchased by the Mitchell administration for the people, which are being given at, well, the word I want to use, I can't use it. It was a word that talked about prostitution, but I don't want to use it. But basically, they're selling us for cheap. And we can't accept that going forward. So fishers in Buccanment, I want to let you know, presently you do not have a jetty. You do not have a wharf. We will build one in Buccanment to benefit the fishers. You will also get your fishery facilities here in Buccanment. But not only that, you will get a multi-purpose center where a library will also be placed. We'll also provide for the youths of Buccanment a hard court to complement the playing field so that you can also play basketball, netball, volleyball, and other sports. So I know those who are squatting around the playing field might have some concerns. You don't need to worry. You don't need to worry. With the development that we are going to be bringing, we will relocate you with decency. Those details we will work out. But I want to let you know, under Dr. Friday's administration, with Conroy Huggins as your rep, you will be better off because we will really relocate you in decency. We'll not just throw you off as they normally do. We will ensure that you get proper facilities, proper relocation with lands in your own name. We're going to do that for you. We will continue our vision for healthcare, especially for the elderlies. We cannot focus on Vision 2025-35 without looking out for our elderlies. We'll be having special care looking for the elderlies. Now, I'll come to the end for tonight because I know Dr. Friday is here and we have to hear from our president. It's getting a little late. The choice is clear. And the choice is yours. For those of you who are in your homes, listening to us and watching us, you decide. Do you want to continue with 25 years of oppression? Remember the vaccine mandate. My brother Palmer Wilson talked about it earlier. We both were kicked out from the teaching profession, all because we stood our grounds that our bodily integrity remains intact. Our choice not to take an experimental substance at the time back in 2021. As a result of making that decision, this wicked and evil government kicked out over 500 public sector workers, plus private sector workers whose employers kicked them out of work. 5 years on, I'm still standing here. You're still standing here. What was it all about? You read the articles that are coming out now from India, from England, from America, and the death rates and the sudden deaths as a result. I never had a problem with anybody who chose to take it. Once you did, by your choice, that was fine. My problem was that nobody should ever be forced, and this wicked government forced people against their will. One young lady described it as being raped, being violated, because you say no, no, and the government is forcing itself, saying yes, yes. We are not going to be accepting this medical rape anymore. We are not going to accept this economic rape anymore. I refer to it as economic assassination. You know what that means? The Bible says, when a man cannot take care of his family, he is worse than an infidel. It means that once you cannot provide food and put money on the table and put food on the table and pay your bills, it means that you're worse than an invalid. Because that person who has a physical impediment is not fit to work. But look, healthy, strong people were kicked out from work. That alone should cause all of St. Vincent and the Grenadines not to vote for this wicked government. The NDP has committed, I'm closing, 30 more seconds. The NDP has committed that all public sector workers fired, kicked out by this wicked government, you will be reinstated, but not just that you'll be reinstated, but with all your benefits, full compensation from the time you were dismissed up to today. The case is before the Privy Council. But once we get into office, we will correct this evil wrong before the Privy Council case is even heard. So Vincentians and those of you doctors, nurses, teachers who suffered under this wicked administration, please be assured that with an NDP administration, we will honor what we are saying so that you will receive your benefits. Good night. Good night. God bless you. Thanks for coming out. God bless you. Good night.
Anointing. Not the old stuff, not the old stuff. Fresh anointing. Somebody say this is fresh. It's flowing my way. Right now it's a season of power.
Oh, yeah.
Let the weak say I am strong. And prosperity.
Yes.
Let the poor say I am rich.
Buccanment, Central Leeward. That That is your man in the upcoming general elections. Lot of licks gonna pass with mix. Put your hands together again for your representative. Well, we come to the final speaker for tonight, but before that, Brother Cummins and West Kingston would love to remind you that the draw for the raffle will take place tomorrow at 6 o'clock at the office in West Kingston. So you can look forward to that, those of you who had bought tickets for that draw. That's tomorrow, 6 p.m. Brother Cummins and the West Kingston crew want to remind you of that. Now, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we need true leadership. We need energetic leadership. We need leadership that can think quickly and sharp in the brain. And tonight, I am saying to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we have a leader. And we are presenting him to you so that you can vote for him so he can be your leader and your prime minister. He is younger, he is fitter, he is more efficient, and he is sharper than the one that we have now. Welcome to the microphone, Dr. the Honorable Godwin Friday, next Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
All right. Let's get together and feel all right. I feel all right tonight. You feeling all right? All right, well, here we go. Good evening to everybody here tonight, and especially to the wonderful people of this community here, and for all the people who came out from near and far. I know some from North Leeward, we have from Central Kingston, and for other areas in between. And for my colleagues who came here tonight to support Brother Conroy Huggins and his team to bring this election home for the people of Central Leeward. You know, we have a very big decision to make when the next election comes. Believe you me when I tell you, it is not going to be an election just that's going to determine the next 5 years. This will determine our future for many, many years to come. So we must make this decision based on what is in our best interest, not by some passing thing, not by some handout that you might get. Because I know that they already the boat coming in. It loaded with lumber and galvanized. And they start sharing out to people. Some will put it under their house. Some will lean it up against the fence until they could get a market for it. And people will take it because they say it's free. But it ain't free. That is being paid for by all of us. So when you take it, use it properly. If you need to build a little shed somewhere and you don't have land, wait till I come. We're going to help you. This is not going to be a situation where these fellas, they believe because they're in office, they're high and mighty. They look at the ordinary folk around this country and they go at election time, having ignored you for the last 4 years. And they bring some handouts and they throw it down there. And the people grab it and they say, watch them. That is all that they deserve. I say too long into that. We have to lift our sights higher. because we are a proud, decent people. We want to be able to accomplish more than this present administration the people here think we are capable of. And I know that we are capable of much more. But we have challenges ahead of us. Those challenges can be met when we take government. But you got to give us the opportunity to take government. We believe that the people of this country want change. You heard Brother Shallow talk about it earlier. I accept that the people of this country want change. But you can't sit down and make change happen. You got to go out and convince your neighbors. You have to embrace people who at one time you thought were your political enemies and bring them into the fold. You have to talk to them as though they are brothers and sisters, not your enemies. It doesn't matter who they vote for last time. What matters is who they're going to vote for this time. And so they will come if you invite them, if you embrace them, and let them understand this is not a thing between us and them. It is for all of us as one people. What is best for all of us? What is best for all of us is a government that will look out for the needs of these people. And I know what the concerns are, because we go around all over the country talking to people, finding out what they want us to represent them about. We know of the bad roads that you encounter in your communities, where you have to take off your shoes in order to catch the bus or to go to church. We know of the young people who come out of college and they can't find a work. Those who might have finished college, what about those who didn't go to college? They cannot find a place in this St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I know of the families who are feeling it at this very moment, because you are preparing to send the children back to school. And they have 3 or 4 of them, you got to find shoes. You have to find uniform. Then you have to think about how I'm going to send them to school on a daily basis, because I got to come up with bus fare. I got to come up with lunch money. How are we going to make it happen? I want a brighter future for my children, but I can't see my way forward. I know of the people, the hardship that you encounter when you go to the grocery store and the price of cooking oil going up, and the price of things, rice and flour, the price of corned beef and sugar, all the things that were basics to you that you never thought about before, now you have to measure and count how much you can afford. That is a cost of living crisis, I know. I know of the challenges that you have making payments on your light bill, on your phone bill. And some people will tell you, well, if you can't afford your phone, get rid of it. But it's no longer, that is no longer a luxury item. It's a necessity in today's world. So we want to make sure that you too, everybody, we can make those bill payments. I know of the families who suffer because of their loss through accident or crime, and the challenges that they have going forward without their loved ones. Thank you very much. So, we know as well of the high unemployment rate in this country, where people cannot find a work. And even when you're working, you can't afford to make ends meet because the pay is so low. We have the lowest pay, the lowest wages in the entire OECS. Our taxes are way too high. And whenever the government runs short of money, all they could think about is to take more out of your pocket to do the things that they say are necessary. And part of that is trying to give things to people as freeness in the election coming up and make them pay for it afterwards. Well, we're smarter than that. I say to you that in the New Democratic Party, you've heard my colleagues talk about this earlier. This is no joke thing. I am very serious about turning this country around. The economy of the country, but more than that, the psychology of our people as well. We have to look to ourselves as the change makers in our own lives and in our own communities. We have to look to ourselves to make a life better for our children, not to somebody else in some big high office. All of us have to work together to make that happen. That is the St. Vincent and the Grenadines that I want to bring after the next general elections. Somebody said to me all the way Friday, it coming soon. Is one sleep and awake and then you're going to be prime minister and you can do all the things that you want to do for this country. I want you to help me to make that happen. The things that we need to do. We need to create more jobs in this country. We heard of the unemployment rate. We talk about that. Fitz talk about that. I said it just now. We need to create more jobs. And that is what we are working on every single day. As to how we create jobs so that our young people in particular don't feel that they have to go to greener pastures. Not in far-off countries, but in Barbados and Antigua and Dominica and Grenada, and leaving St. Vincent and the Grenadines behind. We need also to create better paying jobs. We need to create a healthcare system that we can all trust. We know what the conditions are at our healthcare facilities around this country. The Milton Cater Memorial Hospital, which is supposed to look after us, when you go there, you can't get medication. A fella said to me earlier tonight, we're building a new hospital in Arnesville, and you can't get medicine in the one that exists now, which is true. It's worse than that. You can't find sheet and pillow. Whenever you go to the hospital, it's like you're going camping, you got to carry everything with you. These are the things that we need to change. We also need to deal with the terrible, crippling crime problem that we have in the country. That is something that we are going to give priority. There are too many people are being destroyed, and too many of our young people destroying others. We don't make guns and bullets here in this country, yet we suffer the consequences of it far too frequently in communities all over this country. We have to address that. We also must deal with the infrastructure crisis that we have in the country. We hear how long it takes to fix this road. I have a little piece in my community in Beck where you hear me talk about the Bluff Road. It's less than 200. The other day in the parliament, I say it's 150 feet. The minister correct me. He said, no, it's not 150, it's 180 feet. So maybe I was lying. And they still ain't fix it. 2 years now, they're trying to fix it and they ain't fix it yet. This country is being left high and dry by this administration. We cannot continue like that. To use the metaphor of the sporting analogy that we have used, we've heard other persons talk about it earlier tonight. If you're running a relay race, you can't have one man running all four legs. You're going to lose. That is what we're seeing happening here in this country. If you don't want to give up the baton, then the people have to take it away from him because he's going to make us all go down with him. That is what we must do in the next general elections. We want the country to move forward, not at a snail's pace, not at the ULP pace, but at a pace that makes us one of the leading countries in this Caribbean of ours. Why not St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Why not the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Ask yourself that question. Too often we settle for so little because we have been beaten down by people who think they know everything. That we have no confidence in what we can accomplish. I say we can do a lot, but we have to have proper leadership. You have to have people of confidence in the people of this country, as I do. That is what we want to see for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have a chance to do it when the next election comes. You heard me talk about the challenges that we have. The poor, the high unemployment, the poor wages, the crime rate, the poor health care, the poor infrastructure. All of these things we can correct. We have put forward a plan. You can't do it just by whistling. You can't just do it. Yes, you can go on your knee in prayer. But God gave us an intellect. He gave us a brain. He said, listen, help yourself. I gave these to you. Use them. Don't relinquish them to somebody else. So we have put together a plan for the country. We have 4 pillars of the economy. It's not rocket science. What we say is that we're going to reinvent and redevelop agriculture in this country. I believe we can do it. St. Vincent and the Grenadines cannot succeed without a thriving agricultural sector. We talk about the blue economy. That is the fishing and that wonderful Otley Hall Marina that you see there that they have rotting and rusting. Give me 5 years and you will see that facility will be transformed, providing jobs, high-paying jobs, skilled jobs for our young people and helping our boat owners and operators so they don't have to go to Trinidad and to Grenada just to be able to clean the bottom of the boat to meet the insurance requirements. All of these things we can do, and we will get it done. So we talk about the new the blue economy. We also have the tourism sector, which we have a plan, not just to develop, but to accelerate the pace at which we are going. They build one hotel here in 25 years. You know, go to the other countries and see how many have done in that time. We cannot continue with an administration that thinks that everything that is done must be done at their pace, which is a slow pace if you look at everything around you. We can do better. That is what I want to do. That is why we have put together this fantastic team. The best team ever to contest election in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And you've heard my colleagues talk about them. These are people who can hit the ground running. And your own Conroy Huggins takes a backseat to no one because he's a well-trained individual. More than that, he is a community man. He knows what the community needs. You hear him talk with such familiarity with the concerns of this community. And when you were over in Bottom Glass, similarly, because he studies what the people needs. More than that, he goes out and he meets the people on a daily basis. I have said to my colleagues, we cannot know how to represent people unless we go and ask them. Have the humility, the decency to go and ask them, what would you like me to do for you? Don't assume that you know it. You might be smart and you have degrees, you know. I tell people I have more degrees than a compass. But that don't mean that I know what the people in every community want me to do for them. I go and I ask, first of all, for their support. And I say, when you give that to me, what would you like me to do with it? You know this song we talk about love and love? Tonight I heard that theme refrain. But there was a song by Tuad where it says, now that you found love, what are we going to do with it? We want to put it to work for the people of this country. This present administration cannot deliver. You cannot tell me that somebody who's been in government for 25 years have the gall to come to the people now and say, listen, that was not enough time to fix your road. That was not enough time to bring unemployment rate down. That was not enough time to put in place a system where our young people can get training so that they can be employable in this economy. That was not enough time to deal with the crime situation in the country. Come on. We're smarter than that. They've had enough time. We have an administration here now that cannot get the job done. So we must change that. And the new Democratic Party will do so following the next general election with your help and with God's grace. We cannot continue the way that we are going. The only way the change is going to come is when we all work together. First of all, to bring the change following the general election. It doesn't require just the 15 candidates that we have put forward. I could talk to you from now until tomorrow morning. When election day come, I have only one vote. Leakak have one vote. Conroy have one vote. Nature got one vote. But when we come here and we talk to you, we are hoping that the words that we say, the dedication that we have demonstrated over the years, that those things will help us to multiply our vote with your support. That is how we will get it done. And I ask you to give Brother Conroy Huggins your support here in this community. We have a lot we can accomplish when we form government, but we have a lot that we must do in order to form government. You know, there are young people who need to be persuaded. They're not sure if they're voting the first time or what are you going to offer. I'll tell you this. The biggest difference between us and the ULP, the big difference, the sea change difference, is that I and my colleagues, we are concerned about you, the ordinary people. Whatever we can do to put money in your pocket, that is what we will do. Whatever we can do to make you safe, that is what we will do. We don't start with a project and say, let's see how it benefits people. We start with the people and we say, let's see how this project will benefit them. That is people-centered government. We will deliver that for you. It's time that the people of this country has a government that puts them first. That is what the New Democratic Party will do. And I ask for your support for Conroy and for my colleagues. God bless you. I was away for a little while, and I miss you. And somebody tell me, oh, Friday, we're glad you'll be here. But I gotta say this, everywhere I go, the people, it's the same thing. They want change. They love the Vinci. They want to see a new dispensation following next election. Let's give them that. Let's get it done. Thank you. God bless you. Guys, drive safely to get home.
One love, one love. Yeah, let's get together. All right, let's hear it for our next Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Godwin Friday. Yeah. That's the leader who is fitter and sharper by far. We need him in government. We need him leading St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So at this time, we bring our meeting here to a close. We want to thank all the speakers, all those persons who make this meeting possible. And we thank the people of Buccanment and Central Leeward. And at this time, we want to close with the doxology, so we're going to ask the candidates and the other persons who can lend us a voice and sing in the doxology. Come forward and let us have the doxology as we close tonight. And I trust that you will get home safely until next time when we come. And those in Radio Land and in social media, we thank you for having us in your homes. All right?
Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise him, all creatures here below. Praise him above the heavenly host. Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. To Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Good night. God bless you. Get home safely.